them up. I am so doing. Is this too hammed up, guys? Welcome to the Weekly Poll.
Got it.
Welcome to the Weekly Poll. Is this too hammed up? This is my real voice. I'm sorry. I'll stop doing all the fake stuff. Welcome to the Weekly Poll. I'm Comicstorian.
Oh my god.
Well, Benny went from being quiet and only saying I am Groot to being completely hyper and
To
imbalanced.
being a...
I don't know what you're talking about. What was that saying? You never go full retard? Isn't it?
Yeah. Never go full retard.
All right. Shut up, Rob. I'm trying to intro us while I put it up. Wait, we do the intro, then we'll make sure they can hear you because they probably can't. Anyway.
Is this still stream 3? Is it still test stream 3?
Welcome to the Weekly Poll, where I'm going to interrupt those two guys from saying what they're going to say. I'm Comicstorian. That is Sal of TV Little House. That is Rob of the channel that we're on. And that is our secret boner, David.
Secret boner crate.
All right, can you guys hear Rob so we can fix this?
I see, we are...
Let's do it now before we get 15 minutes in and the chat is just filled with... Can't understand
Is it
Rob.
working? Is it... I can't... What? Yeah, no. Let's avoid it. It looks good.
Mine says stand by. No, mine says stand by. You're not live.
No. Don't click on the test stream 3. Click on the Weekly Poll live.
Oh, we have a live one?
Yeah, Tevia's here already. Oh, yeah, we're good. Whoops. Well, that's... Alright.
Rob, hey, Rob, real quick, let me give you an actual real piece of advice here for YouTube's sake before I guess we're done the intro right now. But go to your top page. You know how you can set playlists up? Right now, go to the bottom one where you can set a new one up, and then there's an option to put live now. If you put it at the top, it'll only pop up when you do a live event. It'll go away when you're not doing one. No, it's 2 seconds. That way we can get more people viewing this. It's 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I don't see it. I really don't. Oh, there it is. You're running 2 live events.
Oh, shoot.
You are. Oh, God. Noises, loud noises in my head from a commercial. Since when?
Let's do it.
Yeah, right?
Every week it's like a new discovery for Rob.
Things just for us.
Why are we widescreen? We're widescreen. That's fun. Oh, Rob, I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. Sometimes I wonder, though, Rob.
Damn it, Rob.
Damn it, Rob.
Typical Rob. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping on the bandwagon.
He doesn't want to feel left out, yeah.
Booyah.
Are you sure? And don't worry, I'm going back to the last month and putting all of the weekly polls into my Weekly Poll podcast playlist that I've been failing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I probably should tweet. Because I do that.
Yes, hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Weekly Poll! Everyone wanted my real voice. I'm not supposed to fake anything. No,
What are you
it's
talking
not.
about?
It's only August. You think I'll
What happens when you get out of school, you don't know when it is anymore. You're just like, oh.
I'm a heavy
Teenagers everywhere are just like, get what? Shouldn't you be in a building? And they're like, no, it's
This is
a
school
lie.
now. Teachers just let kids watch YouTube all day.
Yeah.
I like how Dave combed his hair, trimmed the beard. He's like, if this works, I'm going to look good for it.
Exactly. Yep, and now I'll just lie the hell down. Like my cat.
Again!
Oh my god.
Man, you gotta click that checkbox,
I'm
Rob.
gonna check because they might be trolling you.
I don't know. You sound fine
my
to me.
gosh.
Really quick, let me just while we're figuring this stuff out, I want to ask. I want to pose a question.
No,
What
Rob's
question
silent.
would you like to pose?
The question I want to pose is this is nothing to do with the show. This is just have you guys seen that YouTube ad for the Spider-Man fan film?
No.
It always comes up for me whenever I watch one of like Marvel Explained or the Weekly Poll or anything like that, and it's
Or Comic Story or Comics Reviews.
or Comic Historian or Little House,
or when you watch your own channel. Right.
which is pretty much every day, and it's this fan film. And that's when because at first I used to watch like YouTube commercials. Not I used to. Well, of course I would skip them, but like I would look at a YouTube commercial and I go, oh, like that looks pretty legit. But then like there's this Spider-Man fan film that I'm looking at right now. It's called The Stunning Spider-Man Reborn, and it's this guy YouTube.com. I can't. He was too fast for me, and I can't pause the commercial. But it is. It's just like this guy is jacked and he's in his backyard and he has a full like cosplay Spider-Man costume and he's like, I'm going to do this Spider-Man fan film with Venom and Mary Jane and stuff, and it's like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
There's no way somebody could pull that off in their backyard.
yeah, no, I mean like he
Like,
does it like
I
it's,
just imagine like just shitty green screen.
no, there's no
of
green
him-
screen. It is green, all right, green from the like the formicas behind him. Like it's really bizarre.
Oh,
But I just thought that. No, go ahead. Okay.
every
Do I have to auto YouTube Network N4GTV filled me in on this great tip where you can auto add videos to your playlist if it contains certain keywords. So I'm just auto adding everything on my channel like that I've been missing, that I missed in the playlist.
Good idea. It's a good tip.
It is a good tip. And the guy who did the voiceover for the tip's amazing.
That's what I hear.
It's me, by the way.
That's what I hear from you every day.
That I'm amazing?
Yeah.
I know I am. Thanks so much.
So yeah, you want to? Sorry, the stream.
we should.
I don't think
all
we're live
talk
yet.
like Benny for the whole stream.
Oh, we'll have no one in 10 minutes.
Okay, we're back to being live now.
I didn't know we were down. All right, I'm going to promote it.
Can
Hold
you
on.
guys, can you guys hear me at all out there?
Yeah, let's see if the chat can hear him. If they
Chat
can,
land.
we'll just hit the tarmac, man.
You guys should be able to hear me. If you guys can't hear me, then maybe I'll just like bail out.
So-
I don't know.
No, you can't bail out.
No,
You can at least
I know I'm messing around.
We're
I'm
done!
not gonna
you
I'm
could
not
silent
doing
blob it up
this.
and just be like,
just mime the entire podcast.
yeah, exactly.
I can't do this anymore.
Write stuff down on a piece of paper and show it to the camera.
Yeah, just
We should all just say, "I am Groot" the whole time.
yeah.
I'm Groot.
We tried that. It didn't work well.
All right. I have no
But maybe
idea
it'll
if
work with us, and not you, Benny.
Rob's very low, but they can hear you.
I'm very low, but they can hear me. All right.
God damn it, these fish sense me near their
Is there
location.
no way to like save default settings for that program? Do you
Well,
have to
the
set
problem,
up
I'm using
manually every
XSplit
time?
now, which is like XSplit is better than OBS because OBS was giving me problems.
Yeah.
Ah,
There we go. I'm adjusting my e-sig mod. Okay. Important things first. All right. Let's see.
Lord, Rob's fishing and trying to fix things.
I am. We probably shouldn't have gone.
We were still chatting about what the
We could-
topic
we could-
today
we
was,
could
and
vamp
Rob's like, by the
while Rob's
way,
ready."
we're live. I hope you're all ready.
yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
Galactus will never be done right. He'll be a cloud.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
only idiots would ever think of him as a cloud. Just
Fox will never get it right. Marvel would get it right, but it'll be a long time before they get it back. So it's like, the question in the chat was,
Wait,
who's going to be the next villain for Guardians of the Galaxy 2? I'm just trying to vamp while
Is-
gets everything
Is
ready.
Well, I
Galactus
love
still
how
a cloud
everyone's-
in the reboot? Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
But
it's
what I love
shit.
about the whole Fox thing is that Fox is refusing to give it up. Like everyone now is like, "You failed,
Yeah.
horribly. Just give it up. Do it. Just do it." And they're like, "We might do a Spider Woman movie."
Oh my god. The Fox and the Sony thing, they're just like two petulant children who are like, no, I know how this works, and it's like,
we bought this 10 years ago.
yeah, no, you broke it.
Leave us
And,
alone. Why do we all sound like we're from Jersey?
some people don't sound like that from Jersey.
The shore does. How close are you to the shore?
I'm like 45 minutes away from
Look
a
at my
shore.
poof.
Hmm?
Look at my poof.
What?
They get the poof hair thing.
Dave, you said you weren't on
Oh,
the
the
right this
are
week,
you
right?
referring to Jersey hair?
Man, this podcast is descending into total madness. Like
You're the one that launched this. We're still talking about Jersey Shore.
We're just we're trying to keep things going. We're trying to keep the boat from sinking.
Yeah, this.
All right, so what is
Failing
your current
miserably,
opinions on
but
the
still,
political
at least we're
standings of South
trying.
Korea and North Korea? How about that?
I mean, I think it's pretty much been stagnant since like the 70s. Like it hasn't really gone anywhere. I mean, like it sucks, but like North Korea is a non-entity. I mean, it's become basically just a joke in the international community at this point.
Yeah, it will be considered a joke until they launch nuclear strikes.
They're not gonna launch a nuclear strike. They don't have any.
I don't even think Rob's
Yeah.
messing with the stream anymore. Now he's just loading his little
There's
toxic.
No, he's like,
tweets.
hey!
They'd say their army would starve in 2 weeks
Yeah, no, they
if
would.
they were to launch any sort of conflict with any country.
No, I mean, like, yeah. It really. The question is really like, you've noticed that China has kind of distanced itself from North Korea, and it's really like their main backers at this point. So like, even China is kind of like, all right, well, and without the full force of China behind North Korea, there's no way they can actually sustain any kind of viability. I mean, they can't already, but you know,
That's a good discussion.
yeah, North Korean geopolitical. thoughts.
Tevya says he's hoping Spider-Verse will save Spider-Man. Which reminds me, I should do a video on. Yeah. Well, you know Spider-Verse is coming out, right?
Yeah, I can't wait. I just read Superior number 32, the new Superior book.
Oh, it's out!
Oh yeah, it came out today,
Just
man.
Going after this, I gotta go pick up my books. I told you I caught up today, so.
It's tight, man. It's fun.
Okay. This stream's gonna drop out one more time.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry, guys. I know.
How many enemies can you make on our foot? Yo, Rob, check the mic, yo.
Okay. I thought my mic was. I thought it was louder. Apparently, it was just the. I've got a. God, I need to figure out how to get all my shit together. I've got
Hey, Rob,
a.
we should do this at 10:30 next time.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I need to do something, man. Like I have a. I've got a converter, a digital analog converter, and it's like this little icicle thing. It's what I plug my XLR mic into, and apparently that was turned down. So.
Wait, we have messages? Just so you guys know, this podcast is brought to you by Loot Crate of Comic Story, and no one else has it but me. So make sure you click the link down below, and
Okay. We should
Is it
like we should
Loot Crate or is
actually
it
be a whole lot
Comic
better
Crate?
now.
Yeah.
I'll put my Loot Crate link down there.
The video looks good right now, Benny.
Well, not my camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, it looks pretty HD right there.
I think
All
it
right,
might be
okay,
your
so let's
internet
start this again.
connection.
Welcome to the Weekly Pull pre-show, brought to you by Sal, Rob, Dave, and me. And for the record, I've been told to stop hamming up the openings, so we're going to super ham up the opening.
Oh man.
Don't
Taking
tell
it
me
to
what
the
not to
next
do,
level.
guys.
Okay.
We are back.
Well, this is the pre-show, and we're changing it up. This time, we are not going to do a versus. This time, we're going to do something for TV Little House. We're going to do whatever Sal wants to call it.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe we could call it the shoot back section. I don't know. I got nothing, man. I don't.
We can call it the Rob needs to get his shit together because
Yeah, we can call it the cluster Rob.
the cluster
And-
the clusterfuck of the start of this podcast.
No, I mean, well, we will come up with I'm sure a name will present itself. That's usually what happens with these kinds of things.
All of the mothers of the kids that were watching the podcast now shut us off.
Oh, and
Rob
now,
just
for
dropped the
record-
bomb.
For the
I
record,
do
Dave
not
is not
approve
just
of such
lounging because he
things.
thinks he's cool. Dave is lounging because he's still recovering.
Yes.
So we're lucky we can get him on camera.
Yeah, we have Dave on camera. He's got a sweet mic, and he's not going to be moving up below his waist. So
So his new
Ladies.
nickname is Secret Boner. Anyway,
Yes.
moving forward.
yeah, we'll just call the show Secret Boner. Anyway, the idea was rather than do a versus this week, we would do just a kind of like a back issues-esque conversation or a tangents type question. Tangents is the like sister show to my show Back Issues, which is basically just taking a autonomous conversation, a really random, very nerdy in-depth conversation and saying, well, let's just see where this goes. Let's follow that train of logic. Dave posed a great topic in the chat, and I think, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it
Go
goes.
with that.
Everybody in the show is familiar with the character, and if you're not familiar with the chat, one of us will shoot a picture of the character we're talking about. But we're thinking about talking about I think the totem of Advanced Idea Mechanics himself. The I don't know. Is he an artificial intelligence? Is he a bioorganic creature?
No, he's a person.
Do it in the
Okay.
voice.
A character, MODOK.
MODOK.
The question is, not would MODOK defeat Captain America? Not can MODOK interface with Cerebro? Rather, does MODOK have genitals? And if so, can and does he use them? I will lead the discussion, and we'll see where we go. My question is, does he have genitals? And I guess my first question is for Rob. Was he created, or is he a guy?
I actually don't remember.
I
only
actually know this if it's accurate.
Okay.
I believe they went through his origin in the Avengers animated series that was recently run,
Yeah, they did.
and he was some experiment
Mm-hmm.
that he did on himself, like some genetic experiment that just made his head super huge and shrunk the rest of his body.
Yeah.
yeah, but he's
I
got,
can answer this question officially. I didn't realize you were going to go with this, Sal. So save me for last, because I have your definitive answer.
Oh,
as
excellent.
proven by comics.
Oh, what his if yes or no he does have genitals?
Yes.
I do
He's
know.
been naked.
I do
has
have the answer.
Is
Yeah.
there Rule 34 with MODOK?
No, there's
Let's not find out.
but I do
By
know
the
the
way,
answer to
kids,
this. I thought you were going to go with something
go
else.
search
Oh, cool.
Rule
Well.
34 in Google.
Don't
Rule
no.
34 MODOK? I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to.
Do not look up Rule 34 My Little Pony. That was a very bad night I had.
Benny, play devil's advocate with us for the.
Okay, and you guys can decide if this is valid or not, because my point of reference may or may not be valid.
Fair enough. But
But-
yeah, so if he was created by Advanced Idea Mechanics, I mean, first of all, we know MODOK stands for Machine Only. Wait, no. Crap, what is it? It's is it machine or is
Shit,
it?
I don't know, man. You know better than I would.
No,
It's-
I think
I've seen two comics with MODOK, and the first one was the the lead up to Secret Invasion. So
Oh,
when they
Yeah,
go
well,
when
that
they
was-
go into the cave and like
that
all
was
the villains.
created. That was written by Bendis. He doesn't know anything about what MODOK is. And I only
MODOK
say
was
that
just
because
there.
he doesn't care. Okay, here we go. MODOK is a mental organism designed only for killing.
Yeah, okay.
MODOK. Only designed for killing. So in that case, if he was created by Advanced Idea Mechanics AIM, and it was only for killing, I think he does not have genitals. And the reason why I don't think so,
that he could not use his genitals as a weapon.
I
I
think like his whole physical structure is such that if he were able to use his genitals for a weapon, it would not be in any unconventional way. It would be in the way that a flasher uses his genitals as a weapon to upset and disturb innocent passerby,
Where'd
not
Benny go?
necessarily as an instrument of destruction. Although he does have mental powers, so maybe he uses like some kind of Psylocke's psionic blade. He has a psionic dong. I don't know, gentlemen. I'll throw it to you. What's the deal with MODOK's junk?
I've brought the evidence, and you guys, and I'll show you the cover of the book, and you decide if I'm allowed to use this.
Okay.
'Cause this is always a definitive sorcerer answer.
Oh, Deadpool.
What?
Who's your... Yeah. Oh no.
Wow.
He's just like a cube of flesh.
Deadpool discovers the current situation.
Yeah,
for
Benny
Mo-
just took off to grab that comic. Or he did anyway. People were like, "Why is Benny's chair empty?" Like somebody said,
Then he
like, "Where'd
came
Benny
back
go?"
and he was like really super creepy. And he did something with his left arm that looked like he might have been putting his hand down his pants.
No, actually, I'll let you guys know. My left arm over here, I'm fishing in a video game right now.
I mean,
I have the real sound in my ear, and every time I caught something, I'm hitting the button.
that may be the sign of a problem. If you, I need to dedicate some portion of my brain to playing a game. I'm not even really playing it cognitively. I just need to be able to be occupying some kind of space in my head for video gaming.
Deadpool, the answer to everything.
Yep,
Mike
Deadpool
Dillon.
is the answer to everything.
I agree with that. Deadpool is the answer to everything wrong with Marvel Comics. Yes.
Well, dude, okay. Well, I mean, we brought up this idea, and Dave did put that into the chat, and the discussion was. I thought Sal was going to come up with another one, but
sorry, yeah.
would you like me to definitively give you an answer?
I think we
Yes.
have to, unless Rob and Dave, you have just your postulate.
MODOK is one of those characters where he's so obscure that I mean I don't know, like I don't know anything about the guy.
Man, imagine if he was in the cinematic universe exactly like that.
I mean, a floating head shooting,
How weird that would be.
shooting mind bombs at people. I don't know.
Okay, right now, MODOK in the universe is in the computer that Captain America and Scarlet Witch, Black Widow found, right?
No,
That's-
that's
I'm not
Yeah,
a
that's what's his
huge
name.
America.
No, that's
Zolig.
yeah, no,
He's the guy that normally has the giant TV in his chest.
Yeah,
Yep,
he's an
exactly.
actual character. Yeah, he has a physical body and a TV.
I thought that was
so-
MODOK myself the whole time. But
I
it's
wish.
I'm not a huge I'm not a huge Captain America buff, so
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, he's not a Captain America
I
villain.
think in order to
he's
bone up
more
on
of an
everything
Iron
that
Man
happened to
villain.
Captain America, you'd really only have to read. You'd have to like. It would take like an hour to become a Captain America like expert.
Aficionado.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, as stated in Deadpool, okay, which is a definitive resource for anything in the Marvel universe.
Practically the Bible of the Marvel.
Yeah. In this particular run of Deadpool, which is Dracula's Gauntlet, he is currently trying to take Dracula's future bride to meet him and seal the deal with the vampires. But as we know, in the current timeline and continuity of Deadpool, he ends up marrying Dracula's bride and has crazy adventures with her by himself. She eventually teams up with the Dazzler, and they go back in time to the 1970s to kill disco vampires. So anyway, back to this story. There is a period in here in which he has to fight MODOK. Right here.
Okay.
He shows up. MODOK shows up to stop Dracula's bride. He's been
MODOK.
Okay. Now, in standard Deadpool fashion, Deadpool basically uses some funky technology that he discovered
Mm-hmm.
to remove MODOK from the chair.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay? Now, by removing him from the chair, we discover through standard Deadpool humor
Mm-hmm.
that there is a functioning toilet in the chair.
Oh. So we know that
Wow.
MODOK has an anus.
He's got an ass.
And, well, it's a toilet.
Well, he's a mutant. Like, he was created from a regular guy.
Yes.
So assuming he
Yeah.
still has male anatomy,
Then we discover he has the entire male anatomy still because they have to use a forklift to get him out of there. And they accuse Deadpool of injuring a handicapped man.
Wow.
A
all right.
profoundly disabled man had his wheelchair stolen by Deadpool.
Wow. Okay. That is a perfect Deadpool comic. Is what
Yeah.
how
that is.
did you remember
That is
How
the
long ago?
Dramatic answer.
Deadpool defining comic book. That's exactly what that is.
Yep.
So,
Deadpool.
Long ago was
Sal,
that-
as our debate judge,
Right.
is that our definitive answer to?
I mean, like, if it's in a Marvel comic and it takes place in the 616 continuity, I think I got to give it to him.
Yeah.
well, yes, because this leads into Deadpool's wedding, which had every character at it. And then-
Yeah.
Yeah, but
uh,
all the Marvel events have that. Like
See,
Black
Jake
Panther
Vader
and Storm got
wouldn't
married,
make
and that
sense.
happened. And
yeah.
I mean, that
I
every time
think-
characters get married, that happens.
But yeah, I think unless Rob, since you are Marvel Comics explained, I think we got to give it to him. I think Deadpool.
Yeah, no, I
has
mean, I don't.
good skin.
I've never taken the time to learn anything about MODOK. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Benny could very well have designed that comic last night, and I wouldn't know any different. I would be
I'm
like,
trolling.
oh right.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing that really left it questioning for me was he's designed only for killing. He's not designed for killing and also having sex or also peeing. So I
But
thought
see-
maybe he might not have junk. But
That's the thing, is you can only do so much designing somebody from a regular man.
well, yeah, but you can like scale it back. You can human centipede it up and actually like that would actually be a really interesting like Marvel Max take on MODOK is that the AIM scientists captured this poor man from Bangor, Maine, and said, "You're going to be our our mental organism designed only for killing, and you will not have any genitals." Because
that is the rule.
yeah, well, you need to be focused. I need you to be focused on only killing. So
then why give him a toilet?
well, I don't know. Well, because he still needs nutrients. He still needs to process, nutrition. So
you're going to state that he has a toilet, so he has. Well, because you did not. You said, does he have functioning genitals? You did not state functioning genitals for reproduction.
No. No, it's true.
Functioning genitals requires a toilet.
Well, part of the question was how can he use them?
Yeah.
So,
or
like,
does he use them?
does he use them?
I mean, I would hope so. Like,
Optimus Brown states, so now we have our answer about his junk.
yes, we do.
You're welcome.
In a Deadpool comic, no less. The one place you
yeah.
would expect to find the question of whether or not a character can actually use their genitals,
Yeah.
it's a Deadpool comic, and I really am not
Benny.
surprised to know that that's where the answer's found.
Are you more surprised to know that I have it right here?
I'm more
yeah,
surprised
Benny,
you have
how
that copy.
did you remember
offhand.
that? Like, was
Offhand,
that
just readily to go.
I'm surprised that you actually have that. Like I knew where to go to find out whether
Yeah.
or not MODOK
I
had.
just
a
read it
penis.
last night. I went through like a 3-hour stint of catching up on all of my books, and I went through all the Deadpool gauntlets, and I remember reading that going, that is so awesome!
I did that with Infinity Gauntlet the other day.
So it was sitting on my pile of things to board and bag. That's why I was like,
I was actually doing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say I was doing a back issues in the car with my girlfriend the other day, talking about Infinity Gauntlet. I was like, "Oh, well, Infinity Gauntlet," and I'm explaining it, and we're just like, "Okay." So I'm like,
did you see the new Avengers issue where they explain that the Infinity Gauntlet being destroyed because they used it to stop the incursions, but the alternate universe that has a alternate version of the Justice League has their own version of the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's the Prism Cube with prism mirrors.
"No, I don't read New Avengers anymore. Hickman pushed me away."
And to follow up, before we go to the Real Weekly Poll podcast, to follow up our JLA versus the Avengers discussion,
Yeah.
the Avengers destroyed
Yeah.
JLA clones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
I
we're
saw
like
that.
we're
I
just
saw
now
them-
getting into the podcast after like 45 minutes of technical difficulties.
Well, here's the kicker, Rob, because you, of all people, will appreciate how the Avengers defeated the JLA clones.
Okay.
Doctor Strange sold his soul to the devil and then pretty much eradicated everyone's soul.
Which is totally unnecessary.
yeah?
Because Doctor Strange can just snap his fingers and the entire conflict ends.
He wasn't strong enough.
Yep.
Oh, I don't believe that one. I don't believe that one bit. Doctor Strange isn't
So
strong
he
enough.
sold his soul, and he sucked the souls out of the JLA, and they
You
all
know,
died.
that's the one thing that you can just use to explain anything away. It's magic.
Well, that's why Doctor Strange was. See, that's the problem with Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange showed up in the comics and he was like, "Oh, super powerful! I can do anything." And then Marvel was just like, "All right, this guy's way overpowered."
Yep.
And so they just like
Yeah.
powered him down. Like there was a point where he lost his powers because he refused to fight on behalf of the Vishanti. Then he gained
I'll
his
go
powers
get it,
back,
Tevion.
but they were less than they were before. I mean, really? He's running off to grab another comic. But that,
Hey
but that
guys,
was,
let me go to Steak and Shake and get a milkshake real quick.
Yeah.
we're all gonna go get some
You
lunch,
mean I've
guys.
been holding it every episode this entire time, and I could just get up and go whenever I'm.
But
yeah.
that was the problem. Like Doctor Strange, he was depowered more or less.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hated the idea that Doctor Strange was depowered. They hated the idea that he was not as powerful as he used to be because he was like a niche character.
JLA clones.
Yep.
As a matter
I
of
think
fact,
it's
they call-
Squadron Supreme.
Yeah, it's something like that, and they actually call the Batman character Wayne. That's his name.
Yeah,
Is
his
that-
first name's
is that
Wayne.
like a newer comic? That looks like
Yeah.
the newer Avengers logo.
It is.
It is.
It's
It's,
like the most recent
it's,
episode of or issue of New
no,
Avengers.
the most recent issue is here where Namor destroys everything. But
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
hold on. I'm gonna. Is that 20? That's 19. 20 is the issue where it happens. But Doctor Strange goes evil. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
But he goes
yeah,
evil
he's-
every. They don't even know what to do. Remember when World War Hulk, where he like absorbed the spirit
Yes.
of the dark, and you're like, come on.
Like he was just so pissed off, and he still couldn't beat Hulk. He was
he still
he's
couldn't
like,
beat Hulk.
I've got so much rage, I'm trying to control it, and like he just couldn't control it, and Hulk just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Crushed his hands and then kicked his ass. It was just
It was pretty funny. God, World
So
War
do you
Hulk,
want
man.
me to read? Oh wait.
Anybody
Hold on, guys. Hold
given
on.
enough time to get angry.
Yeah.
Guys, we're moving to the real podcast. So wait. Welcome to the weekly poll. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do it. There's no.
You're not
reason.
doing the whole thing, okay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've been talking for 30 minutes.
He
man.
was
Heck,
told
okay.
not to ham it up, and we're
I'm
short.
so,
on
yeah.
time.
Welcome to the Weekly Pool. I'm Killing Story, and that's the guy from TP Little House. That's Rob. I don't know his name. And there's Secret Boner. We're good to go.
Secret bonus.
Secret boners. Okay, so
Secret boner.
Guardians of the Galaxy just came out, and this is the first time we've all actually had a chance to get together to talk about the movie.
That's true.
So, what did everybody think? Because I saw your all's reviews.
Guardians of
and-
the Galaxy.
I'm just
Best
gonna
movie
lounge
ever?
back
Or-
here since I've been
I've
stuck
my
in
views.
this room for the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
God.
Here's everything that happens in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Basically.
Point by point, every twist, every turn, every character change. Here it is for
I
you.
liked it, but I didn't like the amount of changes they made to the continuity. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a video going over the differences because they basically said we have the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
No one has any idea who this is. We got a talking raccoon, a talking tree, and a bunch of cool guys that everyone's gonna love, like Chris Pratt. So you know what? Just rewrite everything so it functions in a single movie that we don't need to do any explanations for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Works for me.
I mean, it was.
Drax got completely rewritten.
I was
Now
thinking about
he's
that,
just
man.
a dumb idiot who's hilarious.
Don't care.
Nothing
Drax-
goes over his head.
Drax
He
is one of the
gets-
most popular breakaway characters in that movie. Works for
I
me.
know.
Is
I love the reinvention, and that's just it. I love all of the reinventions. I
Right.
love what they did with the movie,
Yeah.
but they went so far from the source material.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even funny. I'm honestly debating. Oh, and real quick. Spoiler warning if you don't want to. Yeah,
Oh,
see, he
yeah.
wants-
See, people. Okay, don't spoil anything.
Yeah, don't ruin it for Dave.
How-
yeah, we're only a week out, so I bet about half the people that are watching haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
This
okay,
also
so-
is like,
Well,
don't.
this
guys-
probably is a new topic because we can't talk an hour about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
and not
Okay.
spoil
Then I
it.
guess then we can postpone. Damn it, man! I really want to talk about this.
Well, here,
Alright,
you know
we
what? Building on Guardians of the Galaxy, I had heard a rumor that there was going to be Sakarans in the movie. I saw zero Sakarans.
Yeah.
Sakarans, for those of you who don't know, they're the native race of beings that are from the planet that World War Hulk is. Or, I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah.
Planet Hulk
Planet
takes
Hulk.
place on.
They're like insects.
No,
No.
they're like big,
They're-
strong.
yeah,
They're
they're-
just strong humanoid people. I mean,
Yeah.
like every animal, like every creature
Yeah.
in the Marvel universe, they look like people.
That was one of the creatures that Hulk actually married, wasn't it?
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
she was the
he
chick that was
marries-
killed during the whole
Oh,
He marries the old strong.
Okay, hold on. How about this? Let's all give our spoiler-free opinions.
Okay.
And we will promise in 2 weeks we will have a total nitpick, spoiler crazy episode.
Works
yes,
for
we
me.
will. Yes, we
That
will.
gives everyone 3 weeks to watch the Guardians movie. And
Yeah.
honestly, right now, I mean, the history of the Guardians of the Galaxy is cool. They change a lot of it.
Yes.
But it's in a good way. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I loved the movie. So
I side with
now-
that. I side with that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They didn't change anything in a drastic manner like Amazing Spider-Man. Nothing crazy like that, where you're just like, this is stupid.
It also
Exactly.
wasn't crappily made like Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, okay. Here's the
I
deal.
looked away.
I was okay with Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing
It
Spider-Man
wasn't
was a
great.
welcome.
Can,
I will
can
say.
we remove Dave from the podcast? His opinion is now null and void.
I will say it's a welcome change after seeing Spider-Man 3 at the
I
midnight
agree.
showing.
No.
I was like,
Yeah, it was much better.
on a side note with Amazing Spider-Man, actually, I didn't mind it because they are just completely reinventing it.
yeah.
As long as we agree that that's happening, I'm fine with it. If we try to compare it to the storylines, then it's just, what the hell? You literally butchered it. You literally butchered Spider-Man.
Yep. You are literally Hitler.
Here's a problem. Here was a problem with Amazing Spider-Man. Like, I didn't give a shit about like Gwen Stacy dying. I was like, oh well, here we go. She falls, and then he shoots his webbing, and then she hits her head. And I was like, I don't care because I didn't care about her character. There was no
I
character
didn't
development
agree-
No, you're right.
I just didn't agree with the ending.
That blew my fucking mind.
Like, I thought they could have cut like 10 minutes off of the movie and had it ending with him debating if he was going to be Spider-Man still or not because of what happened.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and some little kid running out in front of Rhino, like, oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna be Spider. I was like, man, this is so stupid. I was like, this is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen.
I will give
Not
you
to
one- I'll
mention
give you
that
one
Rhino
other
gives
statement.
that kid like 15 minutes for Spider-Man to show up when he's not even wanting Spider-Man to show up, really.
Yeah, he
No, he
should have
does,
just
because he's a pawn of the Sinister Six. He was asked to be there to draw out Spider-Man. Clearly, that was all an orchestration by this bullshit movie that they're going to make about the Sinister Six. Rhino's
Yes.
a pawn. They asked him to go out there and razzle up the crowd and get Spider-Man to come back so they could all get revenge on him. It's so stupid.
I think Sony just saw Marvel
Oh, yeah.
like doing the end credit scenes and like getting people excited with them.
Yep.
And then they were like, we're gonna have like 6 things.
Yeah.
No, but it's okay. Here's the biggest gripe I have with that Gwen Stacy deal. Not only did we get no plot development from her, not only it just happened out of the blue with no real warning or anything. Like literally, Green Goblin just shows up. You're like, oh, great fight scene, and now we're gonna go check out Norman. Cool.
So
But
dumb.
in my opinion, they ruined the impact of it because Spider-Man in the comics kills Gwen Stacy because he improperly uses his webbing.
Yeah.
And he learns that he has to be more careful. He can't just do what he wants willy-nilly.
no,
right.
she was already
In the-
dead when he showed up.
In the movie, he catches her too late, and she hits her head on the ground. That doesn't show us that he has
She
to
doesn't hit
be
her head on
careful
the
with his
ground.
powers. Yeah, she smacks on the ground.
No, she cracks her neck.
Yeah.
No, I could have sworn that she hit it and she like bounced.
That's
and,
what I
like,
thought.
snapped.
That's
No,
the
she
same thing I
cracks
thought.
her head.
No, she cracks her neck. It's just like the comic in that he
Yeah.
kills her.
He
Okay, all right.
catches her, but his webbing gives just enough for her to like snap
to hit the
back
ground.
on
No,
Yeah,
her
he
neck.
smacks
I
her
think
head.
it's her neck snapping.
Well, they show her head hitting the ground, and there's 3 people here who saw it a different way.
Well,
and
no.
in my opinion, well, no, 'cause I'm not even arguing about that. I mean, maybe he did snap her neck. But what I'm saying is the general public's going to see her just hitting her head and say that's
Oh.
what happened. And in my opinion, that ruins him learning how to use his powers properly. That just shows I was too slow.
Right.
That's the old Superman conundrum of I can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
Yeah. No, I thought in the comics that Gwen Stacy was already dead when Peter Parker got to her. Like the Green Goblin
No, he-
was like taunting him, and he was like, she was dead before you even showed up.
Yeah,
You know, or
Green-
something
No,
like
Well,
that.
no,
he
Green-
has this giant like generic like supervillain scene where he's like, "Ha ha, I'm gonna throw her off the side," and then he throws her off the side.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
catches her and snaps her neck.
He
He has
catches her, he
to,
snaps
like-
her neck, and then Green Goblin says, "You fool! She was dead. The fall alone killed her. Like
oh, okay. Maybe
she was
that's what
dead
it
before you hit her with the webbing."
Okay.
Which, by the way, in Spectacular Spider-Man, Paul Jenkins in like the late '90s retconned in. There's a scene where Norman Osborn is like cackling and talking to himself, and he's like, "I told him that she was dead while she was fall. You can't just die from falling from a great height. She didn't fall that far. No, Peter Parker killed Gwen Stacy. There's no doubt in my mind that he killed her.
Okay.
Like, and pretty much everyone but Peter Parker agrees that Spider-Man killed Gwen Stacy. Like, and
Yeah.
no, like that's
That's one of the staples of the character now. I mean,
It's-
that
it's-
and the Uncle Ben thing.
Yeah.
Did you know that actually, part of the One More Day retcon, in addition to undoing the marriage, re-singling Peter Parker, giving him his web shooters back, and bringing Harry Osborn back from the dead, they were actually talking about bringing Gwen Stacy back from
Yeah,
the dead.
that's what I'd heard about that. Like people were pissed.
I'm like,
because it was Peter Parker's motivation to
Yeah.
do everything
what's-
that he's done at like up to this point to be like an actual superhero.
yeah,
Because he suffered like Uncle Ben was one thing. Because
Yep.
Uncle Ben was his in action. But
Yeah.
for him, like he tried to save Gwen Stacy.
Yep.
And he
Right.
couldn't save her. And
yeah,
so
he
like,
learns. Well, he learns the first lesson: with great power comes great responsibility. I must act as Spider-Man. But then he learns after Gwen Stacy dies, like that's not enough.
yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I need, like he matures. It's like learning right from wrong, and then learning the gray areas of morality when you get into like your 20s and 30s. Like it's just a great. Once again, Spider-Man's just a great allegory for growing up. It was another stage.
Right.
It was that point when Peter Parker was kind of being in was getting his feet wet in college. So like he's maturing. It was just another microcosm or a macrocosm of his maturation. It was really like one of the most pivotal moments in Spider-Man's history. I would argue he's only had like 3 pivotal moments in his history, and like that's one of them. The
Yeah.
rest of it's all window dressing. Like Venom, no. Venom's a character, and it was neat, but it didn't change who the character was.
No,
Like-
nothing came out of that.
Yeah, like there are things that happened to Spider-Man since then, but there are very few pivotal moments where the character grows and changes.
Yeah. And that's to me what's interesting about Spider-Man is because you go back to the comics and you physically watch him progress. as a character. Like he's a teenager and he uses his powers for mischief. Like that's how he starts out. Yeah, I mean he pulls pranks on people.
Catching trays in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I mean the first thing he does,
and catching all the food. No one saw that.
Well, no, I mean, like literally, like the first thing he does when he gets his powers is he gets revenge on Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
that's like the first thing he does in the comics.
Yep.
He doesn't save anybody. He doesn't go stop Banks from being robbed or save a cat from a tree. Like he goes and gets revenge on Flash Thompson.
Well, his first action is with you mean in Amazing Fantasy 15 or do you mean like Amazing Spider-Man #1?
No, Amazing Fantasy number 15. I thought that was his first action.
Oh, that was his first action. I'm just trying to remember. Like he gets his powers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think his first.
I want to get us back on a pseudo track there. Are we going to discuss? Because just so you guys know, the plot for the podcast today. The discussion was going to be Guardians of the Galaxy, but you're all right. The movie's too new. We don't want you all to just not watch.
Let's not ruin Guardians for you.
But now we need to decide something to talk about. So, are we going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man? I mean, I'm fine with that.
Oh, we don't have to. No.
I don't want us to do 45 minutes tangent of Amazing Spider-Man. Then Rob's like, now we're going to talk about the topic.
Well, I was trying to find Amazing Fantasy. I don't have Amazing Fantasy number 15. I have everything Spider-Man except for that one comic.
While we discuss Spider-Man, I got this, because while we're discussing this, the comments.
Yes.
What do you want to see us discuss about today?
Yeah, I'm.
Like I said, our plan was Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really good point.
But then I didn't see it, and half of you guys didn't see it.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about
with this Amazing Fantasy discussion.
You
guys tell us what you want to know about.
We can talk about the direction that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is leading to.
You can't without any spoilers.
No, you don't even need to see Guardians of the Galaxy to know that Marvel's moving towards the
Well,
Infinity
no.
Guardians, I think, is going to change I think Guardians kind of changed Marvel's game. I think that it emboldens them even further to take more risks and try new things.
Right.
So, like, I think that whatever they had planned, they're going to do, but they're just going to go balls out with it. Like with Ant-Man, they're going to be like, as opposed to when Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, and they were like, so we're making Ant-Man. Here's a really horrible director who's going to do it, and let's kind of downplay it a little bit. At first, they were like, Edgar Wright, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, it's going to be awesome, Ant-Man. And then Guardians of the Galaxy came out, or was coming out, and they were like, shh. They were kind of downplaying Ant-Man, and they were like, because Edgar Wright left, and they're like, nah. And there's some bad news about it. But now that Guardians worked, and it shows that Marvel can allow directors to have their own creative freedom, and Edgar Wright really just left because At the World's End was a really bad movie, that Marvel will allow the creators to have that kind of control, and so I think they're going to be like, let's go with it. Let's make Ant-Man, and we're going to, sell it.
When you say At the World's End is about, are you talking about Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, I'm sorry. I meant the third Sean movie.
Yeah,
the Edgar Wright, Sean Penn, or Sean.
Oh, okay.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost movie.
Okay, I was like,
you guys know Tanya wants us to talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I mean, we can keep talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2 and how it sucked. I'm down with bashing on that movie. I'm okay with that.
I didn't want to spend an hour of bashing on it, and then we're like, so what's on the podcast today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's all I didn't want to do. I mean, I'm fine with going on about that. So, I mean, we can do this Q&A style. So, Amazing Spider-Man 2 will come back to that. What's our opinion on DC and Marvel hating marriages?
Well, I don't think Marvel hates marriages. Marvel pioneered marriages in comic books. Fantastic Four was the first group to get married in Marvel Comics. You have Mary Jane Watson, you have Peter Parker, you've got Quicksilver and Crystal from the Inhumans. Yep. I mean, you've got multiple marriages that take place over Marvel's publication.
Was the first comic book gay marriage in Marvel?
Was that North Star?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel's been really progressive in terms of marriages. I don't think Marvel hates
marriages. And then one
of
the things that hit the most was DC jumping on the gay marriage bandwagon.
Yeah.
And then going, oh, the Earth 2 Green Lantern, he's gay. Yeah, look at this one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gay.
Yeah.
But they also didn't say Earth 2. So, funny story about the whole gay marriage thing. One of my biggest superheroes, I love the Flash and Green Lantern the most, right?
Yep.
So my comic book store knows I'm a huge fan of Green Lantern. So the announcement comes out, and they know it's Earth 2. They know it. But the announcement comes out, Green Lantern is gay. I walk in, and they're like, so how do you feel about that gay Green Lantern? What do you think about gay Green Lantern, Benny? And I'm like, oh my God, it's Earth 2. They're like, no, DC says Green Lantern's gay. Maybe it's Hal Jordan secretly.
I mean, it's like nobody gives a fuck. Like, nobody cares that character's
Nobody cared when that happened either. There was more hoopla about the North Star marriage, because that was a couple that had been together for a while. They weren't recently retconned.
Yeah.
They were a gay couple. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel makes a big deal out of marriages in their comics. Like
It was
Storm
like 9
and
chariots.
Storm and T'Challa.
yeah, Storm and Black Panther got married, and Marvel put the entire Civil War event on hold just to show the
Yeah.
marriage in that comic.
But
It
they
was
also
Black Panther
undid
issue
it
number 18.
they undid it like in between panels.
Yes, they did. Well,
Like,
I mean, see, now
Avengers
you're
X-Men,
ruining it.
the High Priest annulled our marriage. But you're the High Priest. Get out.
Yeah. Like, you just ruined how great the marriage was. I appreciate it.
what?
Double
And
Helo.
why?
I think that's when he's gonna do a Silk movie.
What? Oh, yeah. That's
A
probably
what
the movie. Silk.
Now, here's a question because of the thing. Now, Marvel, Sony owns all Spider-Man stuff, right? And they want to make a Spider-Woman movie and all that other crap.
Yeah.
Do they have the rights to Silk?
Yeah.
Because Silk
It's
is a
Silk.
new creation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
so-
Marvel. Yeah, but like I bet Slot will probably get like a percentage as opposed to like if Silk were created in 1968, no. The fact that she's made now and that it's like, just like if they were to use Anti-Venom, I think that Slot would probably get some kind of residual.
So you're
Okay.
thinking because she's been introduced in Spider-Man, Sony still owns her.
Yeah.
I-
Oh
That's
yeah.
live action.
Well, actually,
I don't know who Silk is.
I doubt. Oh, Silk.
She
is-
was recently introduced in Amazing Spider-Man. She's apparently the girl who also got bit by the same spider that Peter Parker got bit by.
Yeah.
And she's been like under lock and key this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Ah.
a stupid attempt at Marvel to try to recreate a new Spider-Girl.
It's just a disaster,
It is.
and
It's all-
like,
they
and,
need to
and
walk
she
away
hasn't
from
even been
Spider-Girl.
here for more than an issue, and it's just like I don't
Yeah.
even care.
I mean, that's the problem. Like, Marvel will come up with these gimmicks every once in a while. Like, Marvel will come along and they'll say, okay, we need a new Spider-Girl. Like, how can we make... It's like, you've got 7 of them.
You got
Like,
7. Pick one and
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
So they like
Well, they still
They, like,
use Spider
throw
Woman
darts
Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
they
She
throw
still used
darts
all
at a
the
target and see which one hits the bullseye.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got like Felicia Hardy as Black Cat. You've got Jessica Drew as Spider-Girl. You've got Julie, whatever her name is, Julie
Julie
Hey,
Carpenter.
Dave Parker's being
as-
reintroduced
yeah.
to the universe.
Yeah,
she's
you-
the Madam Web now.
She's Madam
She's-
Web now?
Yeah. Yeah. Craven's family killed the original Madam Web, and the Web of Life reweaved another Madam Web and made Spider Woman, aka Arachne, aka Julie Carpenter, into the new Madam Web. So she went blind, but also became psychic, and so she's like So she's like a single mom and Madam Web. So she like kind of guides Spider-Man through like the mystical bullshit of
Right.
the Marvel universe.
Man, that
She is actually
is-
kind of fun. I like the idea. I wish there was a Madam Web book, because the scenes we get of her where she's like she can see the future, but she cannot say I don't think she can physically actually tell you literally what's going to happen without
No.
making it some kind of riddle.
Yeah.
No, because isn't that what happened with the whole Spectacular Spider-Man? She warned him of Superior Spider-Man.
Yep, she did.
And because he even says, "Oh, she warned me of this crap."
Yep, she says, you after Spider Island, you got Kane. You don't have to be Spider-Man anymore. You can take this like anti-venom serum and make it go away. And he's like, no, I have to be Spider-Man. She goes, well, I'm sorry for your death that's coming. Like,
Yeah.
and like, but they also show you like she's a single mom. She lives in New York. Her kid's like 11 or 12, and like that would be a fun story. Like, I think that'd be a really cool book, like about a woman who has psychic powers that can see the future but can't tell anybody without making it into some bullshit riddle. Like, and being a mom, like, you know your kid is going to go into danger today, but you don't know what it's going to be, and you can't warn her. You have to let her. That's neat.
That would be really crappy.
Yeah.
I mean,
like-
it would be.
Oh, it would be crappy, but like, you know, you'd see her kind of like reaping what she sows, so to speak. You'd see her like kind of like being challenged on it. Like, she can dish it out to Spider-Man, like, oh, I'm sorry for the tragedy that's coming. But like when it comes to her own daughter, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna cheat and steal and lie and like force this psychic shit to work out for my daughter. And it's going to like be self-fulfilling. Like that has at least, you know, Marvel's always talking about story potential. That is story potential right there. But they're like, no. Also, it makes it into a female character that they could sell and market.
Yeah.
That without making Thor into a woman.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do that because they have
Oh,
Thor. They have
oh,
Thor
oh.
as a chick. They have Lady Thor, which is
Has it come out who is it's gonna
No,
be?
we haven't learned yet. It's good. I still say it's going to come out of whatever happens in Original Sin.
Yep.
I
It's
agree.
the way it's lined up. Okay, so follow up. They said the New 52 got rid of all marriages.
Yep.
So
Really?
and they did. Yeah, they got rid of every single marriage.
Batwoman.
But this is a
question-
good question for Rob. do you think that we're going to see Adam Warlock in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you not watch Guardians of the Galaxy?
yeah.
I mean, yes,
Totally.
yes. The answer to that question is we will most definitely see Adam Warlock in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There is no doubt in my mind.
But will
I
we
don't
see
see how they
Quasar?
could do Infinity Gauntlet
we will
without.
see. You can't do Infinity Gauntlet without Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like Adam Warlock is the leader of the opposite side of Thanos in Infinity Gauntlet. It's like all of Adam
They
Warlock's
are not
forces.
gonna
So,
put him in.
I mean,
If they do,
What?
if they
Captain
do the
America's
Infinity
gonna
Gauntlet-
step up?
yeah, man, Captain
Just be
America,
like-
dude. Captain America, like there's a point in the Infinity Gauntlet when they're fighting on the giant,
The
thing
asteroid thing.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that Thanos made in space, the big shrine. And like Captain America's like the last man standing. And like
Yeah.
he walks up to Thanos. Thanos is like a foot
Yeah.
taller than he is, and then he just gets totally demolished.
Yep.
I'm like, you're talking about a guy that turned Nova into blocks and turned Thor into like a giant like crystal statue.
Yep.
So like what's Captain America really gonna do? I mean, it's sure it's
Right.
gonna be useless. So
Well, he's got an indomitable spirit.
and
Well, everybody's useless up
The
against
spirit of
that. I mean,
leadership,
that was a
yeah.
complete wash.
It was, man. Like, I mean, it was. He just. The only reason Thanos lost the Infinity Gauntlet is because he just got careless.
Yeah, well, that's
And-
the idea. Like,
and
that's
the thing is the reason he lost it was he made himself completely deprived of sensory.
He made himself
Perception?
one. He made himself one with the universe. Is what
Yep.
it was. So
So the chat is saying that James Gunn has already stated he's bringing in new members of the Guardians of the Galaxy in
Yeah.
the sequel, and they think that that's how we're going to get Adam Warlock. That's what the chat's saying.
yeah.
That's no spoilers. That's just all rumors. And the next question. Well, what do you think of that, real quick? Do you think he'll be the new member of the Guardians?
Oh yeah. You don't think he will be?
I don't think they're going to use him. I think if they do use him, he'll be in like Guardians 3. I don't think they're going to use him.
I
Yeah,
think.
because I think we have too many rotating cast members in the current Guardians book
Ugh.
that they could very easily shoehorn in. Angela
Iron
is
Man and the
easily.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, but I don't see Iron Man, but they could easily do Angela. They could do Venom if he takes off as a breakout member in the comic series, which I don't see him doing right now. But they
Yeah.
could use him. They could because of the whole symbiote thing. No, they couldn't use Venom. They'd have to get a whole new plot to it.
Yep.
But they definitely could use Angela, and she's becoming like she's almost been brought into the universe to be put into the Guardians right now. That
Yeah.
seems to be kind of why she's here.
It's lame. Like, it's weird. Like, I mean, I think we'll see Adam Warlock on the Guardians before we see Angela in the movies. And
But
I will
now-
retract
now-
my statement. I think we'll probably see Adam Warlock at least in Guardians 2 as an actor. Like,
So here's
He
the
may make
question.
an appearance. I mean, we've had the Collector for like 3 movies now.
collector.
Oh god, dude, do not diss the Collector, man. Collector is an awesome character.
I was like, all right, like, you know what? I liked the Collector better in the Guardians movie than I did in the bonus scene.
All right, guys.
almost-
Man,
In the Marvel comics, the Collector shows up, and the first thing he does is he captures Wasp. It's like Avengers issue number 28 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He captures Wasp with a jar. Like that's literally how he captures her, and the jar is just like sitting on top of her, in like his domain. And he's like, now I want to get all the Avengers, and like he goes on this quest to try to capture all the Avengers. Like the Collector, I agree, is not nearly as interesting in the comics as he is in the movie so far. Like I thought he was a lot more interesting in the movie than he was in the comics. But that's like the Collector is exactly
Well, they
what
also-
it is. Like he's an elder of the universe. He's a member
Wait,
of the
wait,
oldest race in the universe. So.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna veto any discussions about the Collector because he is in the Guardians movie, and I don't want to
Okay.
go
Right.
into it.
Okay.
So next question then. Next
All right.
question.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
you
thanks
might
for
like to
ruining
know-
that, Benny.
Huh?
We didn't say he was in the Guardians movie, but now
Oh,
Oh,
just
I mean,
did.
it's yeah.
He
it's-
said he
yeah,
was
I said
more
he was
interesting in the
Guardians.
movie, and he didn't like the bonus scene. So if you put 2 and 2 together,
Yeah. He's also. I mean, you know, he's in the movie.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
see the preview.
right. Well, let's stop it there. He's in the movie. Congratulations, you've established that.
Yeah.
So, the next question is: they asked me what my favorite Marvel crossover was, but I'd like to get everyone's opinion after I give out mine. But honestly, I liked Avengers versus X-Men. I've read all of them, but I like that one the most because it's smash and grab, it's awesome fight scenes, followed up by a complete ending. There's no real major loose plot threads, and it was a major changing event to the Marvel Universe that actually still is being talked about today. You know, it's something that has had ramifications for years following the event. And this isn't something like, like Age of Ultron, we've forgotten all about at this point. Original Sin could very easily be pushed under the rug at this point. It's nothing humongous has happened in it yet.
Yeah.
But Avengers versus X-Men was just a big, like it was almost like a popcorn movie of fights, followed up with a massive universe-changing event.
They had a whole series of that comic run called Versus, which was literally
Yeah.
only
Just the fights.
Just the
Yeah,
fights.
exactly.
fights.
So,
Just
but that's my opinion. But what do you guys? What is your favorites? What are your favorite crossovers?
Well, I can tell you my favorite is not Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah.
I hated Avengers versus X-Men.
I just like the
hey
ramifications.
guys, Marvel advertised that and said, hey guys, the Phoenix Force is coming back. And I was like, oh sweet, maybe they'll bring back Jean Grey, because if there's any character I want to see come back, it's
Well,
Jean
the
Grey.
marketing was
She's back.
shitty for that.
I mean,
The
well,
marketing and the
okay.
name was shitty for that. I'll
Hope
give you
Summers, Hope Summers is not Jean Grey.
No, you get the young version. You got the
No,
young.
I'm talking about Jean Grey. Like,
You're not getting
I'm
her.
talking about Chris Claremont's Phoenix, Dark Phoenix run.
Well, they don't
and
like
Jean
her
Grey's
anymore.
character.
She's been more interesting dead than she ever was alive.
No,
They're never
well-
going to use her.
But
that. As a matter of fact, the
Emma
new
Frost is
Jean
way
Grey-
more fun to write for. They're
Yeah,
not
no,
going to
well,
do that.
even I mean, you're right, because even the new Jean Grey, they're completely rewriting like everything about her, power sets and all that stuff.
Yep.
Which tells you that the original Jean Grey was boring, Rob. She was boring.
She was
you
never
have
boring.
Sweet love.
The original Jean Grey was never boring. The original Jean Grey was amazing. But anyway, so Marvel says the Phoenix Force is coming back, and I was like, cool. You know, this is probably gonna be kind of cool. The Phoenix Force shows up, somebody or a group of people usually get wrecked, and then the Phoenix Force goes away. So the Phoenix
Yeah.
Force shows up and says, hey, you know, I'm gonna be destroyed more or less, and then I'm gonna split into 5 different people. And I was like, oh my god, really? So we've got
Yeah.
5 people running around with the Phoenix Force's powers. I thought that that writers at Marvel were sitting around and saying, how can we bring the Phoenix Force back and make it interesting? And then they ran into a roadblock and they said, well, let's just split it up among 5 people and see what happens. And I was like, man, it's awful.
I guarantee you that idea of splitting it into 5 pieces, that was there from the get-go.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Guarantee you. I can hear
what I
that
liked
pitch
about
right
Avenger
now.
vs. X-Men.
can
What I
hear
liked
them.
about Avenger vs. X-Men though is the fact that the ramifications have stayed. Because every other crossover event normally gets retconned or goes back to status quo within 6 months.
Yeah.
And Avengers vs. X-Men kept me reading the whole way through. Yes, it's not quite as oh my god as some of the other events that have happened. You know, Annihilation's amazing. The stuff that's happening in Original Sin is amazing. There's a lot of more stories that are beefier in the actual story.
Yeah.
But what I like about Avengers vs. X-Men is we haven't just brought back Charles Xavier, freed Cyclops of all of murder charges, and just said, it's over.
They will.
We're still dealing with it. But
They will.
It's like 2 years later, and we're still dealing
It's
with
true.
it. That's why I like it.
Yeah, Civil War stuck around for a good long time, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But,
I thought Civil War was fun, but the only problem I have with Civil War is it got too convoluted.
Oh,
Too many
I don't-
tie-ins, too many books.
I thought Civil War was just poorly written. I don't.
And too many characters acted out of character.
Oh, that's. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Too many
No,
characters just acted in a certain way just to make it work for that story.
Okay, I
Really?
think you guys are 100% wrong about Civil War. I thought Civil War was
Yeah.
spectacular. And Civil War Frontline had some of the best storytelling I've ever seen in Marvel
Civil War
Comics.
Frontline was really clever and it was handled maturely.
Yeah, I thought
That's
it
what
was,
I will say about Civil War Frontline.
But,
Yeah.
but
House
No.
of M is Rob's favorite. They're saying it
no,
right now.
no,
in the
no, no,
chat.
no, no. House of M is my second favorite storyline in Marvel
What?
Comics.
All you do is talk about House of M
That's
and Adam
because-
Warlock
that's-
and Mad Jim Jaspers.
The Crooked World storyline, yeah, that was a cool one. No, my number one favorite is the Age of Apocalypse. That is probably one of the greatest crossover events in Marvel Comics. But
It was
the
good.
problem,
Just think-
yeah, the problem with Age of Apocalypse is that was back before Marvel was like, okay, let's have main events and then let's have tie-ins. Marvel was just like, here's a shit ton of comics that are Age of Apocalypse. Sort it out for
Yeah.
yourself. Good luck. It was
I
like,
just
oh my
found out
really
like
sense
I
Avengers
told you guys
disassembled
that
and it
they
actually gets coherent
reprinted-
into like solid plots. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So anything
told you
before that
guys
is good, like Days of Future Past, but it's gone too quickly in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same thing for DC. DC didn't get real serious about anything until like the 2000s. Everything just was like, oh, back to normal status
Yep.
quo. How quick can we fix it?
Hmm.
You know, just
Yeah.
no one in the comics mentions Age of Apocalypse ever.
No.
You know, no
Oh, no.
one. No, they mentioned the X-Men from Days of Future Past. Oh no, those X-Men from Days of Future Past are back to fuck with us. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Well,
see,
and another thing is the way things happen. There's only a few characters that even knew Age of Apocalypse happened
yeah, no, and
because
actually...
of the time travel.
Yeah, there was Nate Gray, because at the end of Age of Apocalypse, Apocalypse is killed. He's torn in half by Magneto. The universe starts to implode in on itself, and I think Nate Gray, X-Man, escapes into the Earth 616 dimension,
Yep.
Dark Beast makes it into the Earth 616 dimension, and he's actually
Yeah.
masquerading as Beast during the entire Onslaught storyline, which is
Yeah.
He's
really
around right now. You know that, right?
Dark Beast is still
Dark
around.
Beast is back.
he
He's
really?
in all new X-Men.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I saw
that's
that.
right.
Xavier's son is mind controlling Dark Beast and fucking with him and making him feel guilty for bringing the all new X-Men.
Hold on,
into
I
there.
thought they killed off Legion. I thought they like killed him off entirely,
Yeah, me too.
like gone forever.
Which one? Which one's Legion?
He's the
Legion
one with
is
multiple
Legion's one who
personalities.
caused-
Professor X's son. That like
Wait,
he put back in time.
No. Oh, the one that looks like Professor X.
Yeah.
Did you guys not
no,
read
he
all
doesn't
the
look.
X-Men?
No,
he
no,
looks-
no. In the 90s, Legion was the one that had the huge flat top. He had the tall
Yeah,
hair.
he looked like Kid
Oh, I'm not talking about him. Professor. Okay, if you're not reading all new X-Men right now, we discovered that Professor X has a son. He has two sons.
He has a couple of
actually.
sons. Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, man!
Well,
Him and his
okay.
damn son.
So Professor X had a son with Mystique. Mystique also had a son with Wolverine, and those two sons are now going back in time to try and kill off the new X-Men because they're trying to get revenge on Xavier in a whole nother plot.
Yeah.
But they're every time they come back, we kill them or remove them or put them in jail. But they've got a plan. They have a way where if they don't change the future, someone in the timeline sends that message to the future. So now they know how to go back in time and not do what fucked up.
Yeah.
See,
It's a total time travel, you're confused thing.
See, I hate that's why I hate it when they use time travel like that.
Yeah.
Like Legion's use of time travel was at the very least intelligent. Like Legion was crazy. He had multiple
Oh,
personalities.
they're really intelligent about this. The rule is they go okay. So Professor X's son, who looks just like Professor X right now, he has mind controlled Deadpool in the future. The Mary something, she's something no one that I really give a crap about. They've mind controlled a couple other characters, but he's controlling them and forcing them to go back in time with him. And he goes back in time to kill off Jean Grey because she's the only thing that will prevent him from conquering and ruling the X-Men. He's trying to get revenge on the X-Men because they killed off Professor X. They killed off his dad. And since he didn't have a dad, he grew up all evil and crazy. But their plan is every time that they fail, they make notes about it. So in the future, they always cuts back to the future after they get caught, and you see them all making their plans. They get a letter, and the letter says, and then normally it's the Wolverine son. He's like, "Oh, duh, we're not doing that. It doesn't work. We're try a new plan." You know?
Yeah.
No, but like what I'm saying is I'm talking about like the writer's use in terms of like the story of time travel. See, like Legion was cool. Legion was crazy. He had like Jack Wayne and he had all these weird personalities and stuff. And his argument was, I can spare my dad all this misery by going back in time and killing Magneto. And he attempts to do that. And Xavier jumps in the way, time travel, the whole universe changes and Apocalypse sees the whole thing happen. And
Time travel.
yeah, and at the end of Legion Quest, it's one of the coolest scenes. At the end of Legion Quest, Apocalypse is standing there, and he was like, "My time has come," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it just starts out with the Age of Apocalypse story. Like, I mean, that was a problem. Like, it just picks up with Age of Apocalypse. It's just there all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
then you actually get the backstory of what happened as time goes on when you learn about Apocalypse launch forces to take over the world, North America, stuff like that. But the Age of Apocalypse was so cool because you have like Avalon, which is like the safe haven for humans and mutants. You've got like Juggernaut, who's a monk. You have you still have like William Stryker and the Purifiers, but now they're like henchmen of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
You have like Destiny. I mean, you have like all these really, like, all the characters are alive for the most part. They're just playing different roles, and that was a difference. Like the Days of Future Past, like everybody's dead.
Yep.
And there's like a handful of characters.
Oh,
With Age
and
of
it's so
Apocalypse, they're
hand
all
wavy
alive.
where they're like, "Oh, and all the Avengers were killed."
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. They're just like they're all gone. I mean,
Yeah.
my
it's like-
only complaint about Apocalypse versus Days of Future Past Future is that we still reference Days of Future Past Future. Those X-Men keep coming back in time to make sure it doesn't happen. Age of Apocalypse just went away. And honestly, time travel just makes everything convoluted and confusing. I just watched the back issues over at TV Little House, where pretty much the entire episode is his two guys going, "Why? That doesn't work with time travel."
That was Flashpoint though. That was much more lazy than
Yeah.
the-
yeah. I was trying to understand
His
that video as you guys
understanding
were
of
progressing.
science seems a lot more dumb than Marvel.
Yeah,
It's-
Marvel's
yeah.
Because
Marvel's whole
like that's what my problem with Final Crisis was, and I know I talk about that a lot, but they were just like, this happens because of sciencey things. Let's move on now.
Yeah, that's
Like-
yeah. I mean, I know I skimmed over a couple things in Final Crisis, but that's pretty much how it all happened.
yeah.
Superman can build a wish-making machine. Don't question it. He
Yeah,
he went to the
super memory.
future and saw how it works.
Build a wish making machine.
He
I
did
mean-
build a wish machine, and he
Yeah.
sang Darkseid to death. Like,
Yep.
I mean, I don't, you know, it's like not all the stories that involve time travel are terrible. Like I thought Age of Ultron was actually a pretty cool storyline. Like I really enjoyed Age of Ultron. I had a great time reading it.
I just don't
just
like
read
how
it.
the resolution. The resolution for Age of Ultron is like, well, now the time traveling universe has snapped back, so the incursions are happening because of you, Wolverine, and Angela's
Yeah.
here because of you, Wolverine, and that's the effect of it. And now we've got like this really long running new Avengers storyline. Like
That is one of the things that I don't like about Marvel's focus. And like, I mean, it was interesting to me when it came to Wolverine because Wolverine just showed up. He was the anti-hero, yada yada yada. Did some stuff and loved, like he was in love with Jean Grey, and then she was like,
Yep.
"I love you too, but get the fuck out of here because I'm with Cyclops." So, like, it was cool, you know, in the early '90s and the late '90s, and all of a sudden it was just like Wolverine. Everything revolves around Wolverine.
they did
And-
that with Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool got into everything.
yeah, but at least Deadpool provided comic relief. Like Wolverine,
Kind of like Deadpool was like Deadpool is the open mic night of Marvel.
Wolverine,
Because everyone-
Wolverine is almost
Everyone who
Like,
thinks they're
guy-
hilarious is like, let me take Deadpool and be hilarious with him.
Well, no,
It's like,
what makes
no.
Deadpool work, like not work so much, but crazy, is he panders, and I love Deadpool, and I'll go ahead and say it, but he panders to the 13-year-old kid.
Yep.
He runs around cutting off heads, making jokes with severed heads, and going boobies, and that's Deadpool's.
Yeah.
Deadpool is a Comic-Con attendee
Why do you think he's the most cosplayed guy ever?
because it's really fucking easy.
Oh, I just do Spider-Man. in
Deadpool with a
Carson
cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Deadpool with
Now
a
I'm-
sombrero.
Yeah, I'm
Deadpool
Hello
with-
Kitty Deadpool.
yeah.
So
I mean-
yeah, you know, but but let's try to.
Well, another thing I have to say
Well-
about Wolverine is not only is Wolverine and everything, but it seems like he as a character doesn't want to be involved with anything that he's in
Yeah,
until he's actually forced to be
Yeah.
involved with it.
Yep.
So it's like Marvel puts him in there just to be the guy who's like angsty and is like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yep.
And then
We
he
shouldn't
ends up
do
just-
this, it'll mess with things. You're right, but to keep us on track here, Sal and Dave, what are your favorite crossovers? We still haven't done that. We just had like a 20-minute discussion about Age of Apocalypse.
yeah.
Well, from what I've been reading recently, I would say Annihilation is really good.
That is
Rob
good.
was right when he said I would enjoy that event, and it was my first.
Well,
It
listen,
was my first read of a interstellar or like galactic Marvel event, and you really felt like all of these cultures and everything were getting wiped out by this annihilation wave that nobody could stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just by complete chance that like a couple people managed to like stand up to it and stop it.
Yeah. It's
I
awesome.
mean, that's one of the reasons why it was so cool is because, like, almost all the crossover events up until Annihilation, with the exception of maybe like a couple, took place on Earth. Like they were
Yep.
just like Earth confined events, and then you have the Annihilation wave where Nihilus is like, I need to destroy all life
Yeah.
in the universe because the Earth 616 universe is encroaching onto mine, and I'm gonna rule this universe by ruling nothing. And so he just sends the Annihilation wave through, and it just like literally eats and kills everything. But
everything.
but it was
another
it was
thing
a
was
huge
it-
like intergalactic event.
Yeah, it really set up Infinity too, because when you saw them like as a last stand say like, you know, we couldn't stop this annihilation wave before, but at least the annihilation wave might be able to stop this.
Yeah.
They unleashed them, and then it just got demolished, and you were like, man, that was like a real Hail Mary pass. It got
Yeah.
like completely screwed.
That was a good, like, Infinity was a good one. The whole thing with like the builders and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, and
Yeah.
Everything
I like
with the
Infinity.
builders and the Avengers was awesome.
yeah,
Everything else was not. Like
I thought it was
Infinity
a little
like what we did with Thanos in the end. I thought
Everything
that was
with
was a
Thanos
little-
was shoehorned in and crappy.
oh, I don't think so.
It was only because he smirked at the end of Avengers. You know that they only put him in there because he smirked at the end of the Avengers.
Dude, they didn't even take the time to explain why Thanos is back.
Thanos has no and then he's like, "Oh, my son's here." Oh, your son? That's the flimsiest excuse because we created him for this stupid thing. No, make it something else. If you want to make it like he's angry, make him angry at Star-Lord for trapping him in the Cancerverse, and then have him go destroy Earth. Like, make that your reason, but don't make it because don't create a character for him to need. Like, don't create a MacGuffin that you're never gonna use again. That he
Oh,
has to
he's
go
gone.
look for.
He's long gone. Like
I-
we'll
I
see
really
him. I
thought-
say in 5 years he'll come back or something.
Only if
Oh,
Jim
are you
Star.
talking
No,
about Thane?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Stupid.
I don't.
And it was so obscure too, because they never even hinted at it. It's just like, oh, conveniently Thanos discovered he has a son on Earth, and conveniently, oh, there's no Avengers on Earth, so Thanos is now gonna go look for his son.
I like the idea of Thanos being like, "There's no Avengers," and Luke Cage is like, "Who are you calling not an Avenger?" And then he gets his ass trounced, and you're like, "Yeah." But like,
yeah, not you.
yeah, not you, buddy. But like, but everything with the Builders and Thor and Captain America leading the seeing, Captain Marvel with the Guardians is cool, but like seeing Captain America help the Shi'ar fight the Builders is awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And having the rest of the universe go like, maybe we should take these people seriously because we all knelt before like these Builders. Like the Accusers themselves were demolished, and only Thor killed like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thor killed a Builder in an amazing way, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
no-
he threw his hammer into the air or something like that, and then he
Yep.
called it
This
back
is
to him and like
the
it
thing,
impaled
though.
him. Like,
It used,
no, yeah,
used
he
the
threw- he
gravitational
left it-
pull.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he left it behind because he can always call a hammer. He left it
Yeah.
behind.
Oh, okay.
And then he went and bowed and basically
Yeah.
submitted to the Builders. So he bowed before them so that they would take him to like the leader of the Builders' army.
Yep.
So that he could bow and say that I submit. And the moment he got in front of him, he's like, Mjolnir!
yeah, called
Yeah,
his hammer like his hammer
that
just came
was
flying
cool.
down. And,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was-
builds
it was
up
pretty
it builds up momentum from the gravitational pull of a moon, and it just builds up this force that's just waiting to be picked up, and he's like, okay, and it just brings all that energy back
Yeah.
through his chest. So awesome.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
thought though that it was a little too like easy for them in the end to hijack those ships. Like they kind of
Yeah.
just used that as a way
Well,
to end the event.
I just go
The
hubris.
the problem is with Infinity is that it was like 8 books in the Infinity storyline, then like 8 crossover, you have to read them books. So they had already
Yeah.
had like 30 books, and they were like, how do we cram 4 storylines into 30 books?
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about we just make one story in one effing title? How about that?
But see that made sense though, because I mean, Civil War was a year long, Secret Invasion was a year long. People were tired of these year-long events. People were like, I'm tired of reading comics for a year.
Yeah.
Like I want
It's
like
almost-
3 stories. Like I want 3 comics.
No,
telling
it's
me a
almost
story.
like they said, we have to cover these 3 stories over the next crossovers, but we want to get things more in line with what people are going to start seeing in the movies.
Yep.
And these 3 don't match up for that. So let's shoehorn them all into one big event
Totally what they
and
did.
get them out of the way so that the universe is set up for this stuff.
Yep, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I mean, that much I understand, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think that people love major crossover events. Like people love
They do.
seeing like the Avengers and what's left of the X-Men and like all these different groups get together and fight. But the problem is that people like seeing that for a short amount of time, and they don't want to
Yeah.
see it drag on and on. And
Well,
on
that's
and
why,
on.
like, that's why certain events are great. Like, I like when they do these, like, out of continuity events. Like, Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, 4 issues. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, 4
Yeah.
issues. This is fun. I love it. This is great. 4 issues and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Deadpool
it's,
kills Deadpool.
Yeah, I like the short-
yeah, and it's cool the
But
way they
then-
do it. I mean, go ahead, Dave.
Then people complain about how their character that they loved didn't get killed in the right way because they got killed. Oh, well, that guy got killed in like 2 frames.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
it's like
Not
we
like
had talked
this.
about before. Like how do you kill Wolverine? The Xavier Protocol say just chop off his head and separate his head and his body. It's the only
Yeah.
foolproof way to keep him dead.
Yep.
I mean,
Doesn't he regrow everything? I think the only way you can actually kill Wolverine is drown him. Because it's the only thing that
no,
prevents
if you take him out of the water, his lungs will heal itself.
Right, well, yeah, but I mean, it's the only thing that'll keep him down for a while.
I mean, you'd have to drown him and then like
Wolverine
leave him
has
in the water
regrown from
forever.
like a single cell.
Yep.
Cutting his head off is going to do shit.
Yep.
We might just get 2 Wolverines with that.
No. I mean, this is like the Xavier Protocols, and the Xavier Protocols were established as the foolproof way to kill
Well,
every
they're wrong.
X-Man.
They are
Every-
wrong. And,
I'm-
and that leads me to
Marvel may
another
very well have
question.
retconned it. They may very well have
Every
retconned the
time
Xavier
that
They
Wolverine
did.
Protocols.
ever wants to limb a finger or
changed his-
whatever.
They changed his healing factor like twice since he regenerated.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
like,
Well,
See,
yeah,
I don't follow
wait,
Wolverine
wait,
for a reason.
before we
I
go
don't
to-
like Wolverine.
We need Sal's crossover, Marvel crossover that he likes. But why is there not just like a dozen Wolverines running around? Like, what in his genes says this finger is not Wolverine, do not regenerate this, but this cell is Wolverine, regenerate all of
yeah,
this?
I don't know.
I think it's his head.
No, because he's
Think
been
whatever
one
part
cell.
his head is connected to.
He has been nothing but bones and just regrown everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened in Civil War. Like when Nitro blew up, I mean, like he blew up and totally incinerated Wolverine down to his skeleton,
Yep.
and then over the span of like 4 minutes, he grew back, like
Yeah.
completely
Well, yeah,
grew back.
but like you would cook his brain, but his brain would still be in there.
No,
Once you destroy a brain, it's done.
No, I think it was the Age of the Apocalypse though, but it was like there is an instance where it was a single cell.
Yep.
And he grew out of it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Wolverine's character because I feel like Wolverine is a cop out for like everything Marvel does. Like he's in way too many things. There's no reason Wolverine should be in like 13,000 comics.
No.
No.
He's just in way too many things.
He's not that good of a character.
He's really not. He's not that interesting. That's why I'm hoping when Marvel kills him off, like he stays dead. Like I want to see him go the
really
way
like
Jean Grey. I
him
don't ever
in-
want to see him come back.
That's not gonna happen.
It needs to happen,
Wolverine
man.
and
That's not
Actually,
gonna happen. They're not gonna kill Wolverine.
No.
You know
So,
what
Sal,
to
what
do?
is, what is before we go rant about Wolverine for 30 minutes? Sal, what is
fair
your
enough.
favorite crossover? Because we will rant about Wolverine for 30
will,
minutes.
yeah.
Marvel crossover.
Oh, Marvel
That's the-
crossover. Spider Island was pretty awesome. I love Big Time and Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, man.
That's just you're just gonna list them off and we're done. All right.
Secret
That's-
Wars, man. I just thought really it was
I
one of the
haven't
first
read Secret
ones that
Wars
I've
yet.
read, and I was just like, this is fun. And basically, it feels like every event has been trying to like have that same feeling you get when you read Secret Wars, where you're like, look, everyone's here at the same time, and they have to fight those bad guys. That's it.
Wasn't
And
Secret
everyone's
Wars
getting a
just
new
giant-
toy.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's gonna be a black costume.
Yeah.
Yay!
Wasn't
I mean, like,
Secret Wars just a giant gladiator event?
It's
Yeah.
not even that.
It's
like
a Jim Shooter comic.
it's
It's
an
a Jim Shooter
episode of
storyline.
Masters of the Universe.
They're all
That's
stating
exactly
it.
what that is.
Wolverine 30-minute rant approaching.
Oh, no, Secret Wars is just an episode of He-Man, where it's like
That's
these
exactly
guys fight
it.
these guys, everyone fights, nobody dies, everybody dies, everyone comes back. The end.
That's exactly it, man. Like Secret Wars picks up like that. I mean, it's just suddenly they're on two
It hits the
ships.
ground running. You
Yeah,
are
and
not.
people are like,
left
what the
nor
hell
back.
is going on? It's like, well, some super entity from beyond the Marvel multiverse that's encompassing of all the stuff in his universe is just wants to see what happens if good guys fight bad guys.
Well,
And
he
that's
wants to
basically
see
it.
what's stronger, good versus evil. He's like,
Yeah.
you're good and you're evil, but he also doesn't even understand that he.
Yeah.
So
I
he
mean,
puts
that's-
Magneto on the
Galactus,
good
team up
guys.
with them on the Secret Wars.
I mean, that's
So
the
fun.
way it was explained in the Marvel, and like when you actually get into the Beyonder, and you actually get into like his run in like New Avengers, and like when you get into like the X-Men explanation and all that kind of stuff, like all they really say is like initially he was like this cosmic entity, or he was like the sentience of all his universe combined into one from like a totally different multiverse, and
Yeah.
he just like looked into our universe and saw everything that was going on. It's like, well, let's just see what happens
Yep.
if we have good guys fight bad guys, and so he created everything. But the Secret Wars was Jim Shooter, and Jim
Yeah.
Shooter made some of the best comics between like 78 and 87. He made some of the best comic stories to ever come out of Marvel. Like I really love a lot of the stuff that he made, but
Yeah.
he was really cool in terms of that story, and that's what made the story cool, was because you got to see the fight that a lot of people wanted to see what would happen if you had like some of the biggest supervillains versus some of the biggest superheroes in Marvel. Like,
Yep.
fighting when there's like really no ramifications for their actions, and that's why
Yeah.
Secret Wars is cool, because it was a planet that was created with nothing on it, and so they just went in and just fought and destroyed stuff.
Except for a black suit.
Except for except for the symbiote and the Hulk holding up like half the
Oh,
planet.
Mount. That's one of the coolest Hulk moments. People think people find that to be one of the best like Hulk moments ever. Is Hulk
It is,
holding
man.
up a mountain, saving everybody. That's
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool
All
the way
right.
they do it. It's like they have the Incredible Hulk. They're like 2,000 feet below the surface.
Yep.
Like the Incredible Hulk is holding a mountain or something like that. Like he's very angry and he's just like
Yep.
sitting there with his arms out holding a mountain up.
Yep, and he's losing Banner as the story's going on. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a fun
really
story.
cool.
All right, next question then. We'll keep this moving, keep this rolling. All right. Wait, this has turned into a Q&A with the weekly poll. So.
I
Down,
think it's
yeah.
actually it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
All right, they want to know our opinions about: are we tired of seeing Batman everywhere, just like Wolverine and Deadpool?
No, I only like Batman.
I love
Uh,
Batman's character.
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't mind it, and I'm probably the biggest DC guy here because I only read Scott Snyder's Batman
Yeah.
and him in Justice League. I avoid everything else he's in.
I think
Matter of fact, I have like 5 books of Eternal over here that I'm just ignoring because they go into crap.
I think they could cut down on the number of characters that originated from Batman. Like how many?
The Bat
books there are.
Family.
You know, they've got Batman, they've got Batwoman, they've got Batgirl, they've got
No,
Batman
because
and
he has to
Robin.
call in the Bat Army. Eventually, it becomes the Bat Army with Batman Incorporated. Grant
Yeah.
Morrison's little creation.
Really quick, my just really initial thoughts on Batman. I think it'd be way cooler if there was one Bat title and it came out like Spider-Man, what they did when Brand New Day, where it was 3 Amazing Spider-Mans a month. I think they should do 3 Batman titles a month. It's one title. It's like just Batman. I think they should just
instead of having. I agree with you on that because what I do dislike about Batman is we have Batman Scott Snyder, we have Batman and Robin, we have Batman Detective Comics, we have Batman and the Justice League,
and none of them have anything to do with each other.
They don't. It's all separate storylines,
Yeah.
which is fine to an extent. But where's my continuity? Where did all of this take place?
Well, and like some of them are not good. Like you could with 0 years, with the 2-year-long freaking Scott Snyder Batman story he just did that he just
I know.
ended.
I'm waiting for the trade on, by the way, because I was not.
It just ended. You're gonna get it soon.
I know. I've got the last issue there. I'm like board and bagged. I'm getting the trade.
Yeah.
Screw this.
So it ended. That was like a year that they could have had like a core Batman book running concurrently that was in the current continuity.
I'll say the the core Batman stuff was not even in continuity right now.
Yeah.
The only continuity Batman was Justice League.
I know. Now I should say I hate Brand New Day, but I love the idea of 3 Spider-Man titles a month. So that's what I was thinking. I don't want to like make Batman young and hip and whatever. I just wanted to see like Batman 3 times a month in one title in one shared continuity. Doesn't have to be like one story like they did in the 90s where it was like Batman, Detective, Legends, and Shadow, and they all were and they all told one story written by kind of one person.
Batman Eternal.
Yeah, well, like Batman Eternal. Batman Eternal comes out once every other week.
No, it's a weekly book.
Holy shit! Like that's
That's
awesome.
why I'm so far behind.
Yeah, but it's like that's awesome. I should want.
Well, every other week is good with this. Like it's like they like Scott Snyder is. They're not. Look at the names on this.
Well, it's Tynion the Fourth. Oh my! God.
I'm a firm believer that Scott Snyder writes every other book.
Yep.
Because every other book has to do with his storyline.
Yeah.
And then the opposing book is like on the way to this location, Batman ran into Red Robin, and they've gone on this crazy extra adventure.
Yeah. And look, if that's how you sell comics, that's how you sell comics. But whatever.
I mean,
all right.
Marvel did the same thing back with Nick Fury. I mean, Nick Fury when Nick Fury popped up, he was of course like the World War II, and then when they gave us like Nick Fury as part of the whole CIA Shield thing, like he had his eye patch, and all Marvel did is they adapted Nick Fury comics to the point where they gave him an eye patch to like fit in, so that you basically had like this follow up. Like they ran at the same time, but you saw where like 1945 Nick Fury was growing into 1960 spy Nick Fury, which I thought was pretty cool. Which doesn't even matter now because they're all life model decoys.
Because he's a.
Are there any
he's
extra
old.
questions?
Are we moving on?
I'm bored. Next.
Well, I was just gonna ask you guys what you thought of Max, like the Max universe.
I hate
I
the
read.
Max.
Oh, Marvel Max? Marvel Max is awesome, man. That adult-oriented stuff.
No,
Yeah.
Violent and...
when they did the first one was good. Then they're just like, oh, we're making an adult line.
Yeah, well,
Then the next question though, there's still plenty in here, and I'm trying to pick them out as we're going. Okay.
Yeah.
We can go back to the whole Max discussion because I hate it.
that's why I asked.
Where is it? Oh, what do you guys think of the new Arrow TV show? Now that it's, I know we've briefly discussed it before. It's probably because I'm wearing an Arrow TV shirt.
Oh yeah.
I hated season 1, loved season 2, and I'm excited about season 3. That's pretty much where I stand with Arrow.
His first 4 episodes are boring. I don't care. I stopped watching.
Yeah, I haven't watched it at all.
I've only seen the first season. So I'm
never
planning
seen
on
the
seeing the second season once it comes out on Blu-ray.
Benny's the odd man out.
Yep.
It's weird. I
agree. I mean, Sal stopped watching the first 4 episodes. Dave watched the first season, and the first season is horrendous. Yeah. I watched it over the span of like a year and a half. Like I didn't even like.
Wow.
It was one of those things. It came on Netflix, and I'd be like, I'm bored. Let's watch an episode of Arrow.
Yeah.
That was horrible. Whatever. And I eventually got to season 2, and it really picked up and got good.
Yeah. That's what I hear. I don't know. I don't want to dedicate my time to like skipping seasons and shit. I'm not gonna lost it up with Arrow.
Oh god, man.
And that's
Lost.
fine. But it's the same situation as Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The first 11, 12 episodes, garbage.
I like those shows. I like that show. I liked all the shows.
I don't like the first half of the season. The second half, I was glued to my seat, like, what's gonna happen next week?
Yeah, but I was glued because I spent the time. I made.
Well, no, I watched them all too, and I was attached to the characters.
But I
don't like the first half of the first season. I just don't. It's too much of this. Oh, let's get to know everybody. It's too much Joss Whedon in my superhero show.
The funny thing is, I don't even
Joss
think
Whedon.
Whedon worked on that shit. Like, I think Whedon was he was like script, punch up with silly ass line. Like, let me Whedon up these 3 lines in the episode and send off. I don't write the episodes. I don't read the episodes. I just give me the read it to me. Okay, how's that? Make him say something kind of Firefly-y. Send.
In the day and age that we are now, I don't think there's much room for a whole new Joss Whedon, 20 episodes a season of character development to get to that amazing final finale. The Buffy Angel formula, I don't think would work nowadays, and it looks like that's what they were trying with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's just build up these characters so you're attached.
Yeah.
So when that big screw you happens, you're attached to it. But I have too much to watch now. There's too much good shows to watch now.
Exactly.
And I don't have time to really give 12 episodes of just watching us learn who Skye is. Watching us learn, watching Coulson deal with the fact that he's come back and never actually learning anything.
I'm really hoping, like you said with Arrow, that it's picking up with season 2.
Well, they've already said
And
they're bringing
they
in
introduced
Skye's girlfriend and stuff like that. They're bringing in heroes now.
Yeah,
So-
I'm really hoping they bring in more like superpowered heroes.
Yeah. And that's what I'm looking
more
for,
of
too.
what's going on with the stuff that's happening off of Earth.
Honestly,
You know,
we had
like-
more superpowered guys happening in Buffy and Angel. Every other week, Buffy and Angel's like, hey, look, a new vampire that's super strong, and Buffy's going to get some new super weapon, and here we
Oh
go.
my God, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let me tell you something about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That show was
awesome.
one of the dumbest
Amazing.
shows that I'd ever seen in my
Amazing
life. That show,
show.
No, under no circumstances was that show amazing. No,
you
sir.
do not trounce anything by
In
Joss Whedon.
what
except Mark
universe
Lane's
would
Shield.
anyone believe that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a genuinely good story?
It was
Oh
an
my
amazing
God.
It was
story.
based. It was based.
And then Angel raps into it so beautifully.
It was based
We are
off a
so
terrible
polarized.
movie. It was
We are
based.
so polarized with Rob on everything.
That's why
Like,
this is a great show.
It's Rob against us and us against Rob all the
No.
time.
Well, because honestly, Dave, here's what happened. If Rob was like, I like Buffy, then I'd be like, I like Buffy. So I'll be like, yeah, Buffy was great. And then you'll be like, yeah, Buffy was awesome. And then we'll be like, next topic.
I watched,
Yeah.
I watched the pilot of Buffy, hated it, and didn't watch anymore. People who tried to convert me into it were like, watch this episode. And I'm like, this is dog shit. So I was like, no, I don't care.
Yeah,
Sal,
no,
I
I
it's,
watched
We're not
like, the
friends.
first season.
Friendship
on
over.
Hulu
It's
the
like
other
3
day,
episodes. I just don't want to watch it.
and it was okay. But I mean, it might just be because I have no nostalgia for it at this point.
Yeah.
Like it might have been like really good, but now it's like they shot it with such shitty cameras because it was a pretty low budget show to start out with
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
place. That I'm like, oh god, all the grain and like everything's out of focus.
It's like, on a side note, before I go to the next question,
Mhm.
has anybody tried to watch those like sitcoms that we all used to watch in the 90s?
Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Bell?
15? Yeah,
Full
like 15?
House and
Yeah,
Step by
dude.
Step, and
Yes.
go back to Family Matters, and you watch
Success.
all the stuff that as kids we loved, but now
Yeah.
you're like, that is so bad,
Yep.
so bad.
You know what holds
oh,
up?
dude, like Salute Your Shorts and
No.
Hey
Nick
Dude.
shows, it's funny, Nickelodeon sitcoms hold up better. I think
Oh.
Salute Your Shorts, Hey Dude,
Well, 'cause they were never.
You can't do that on TV.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh,
Never
are
seen-
you
They all
Afraid
still
of the
hold
Dark?
up.
They
Are You
never
Afraid of the
stayed
Dark
with
was
like the
so
current
good.
day and age. They didn't follow pop culture and everything. They just
Clarissa
did their
explains it
thing.
all.
That's why they stand up.
Okay,
You know, things like
um,
Family Matters and stuff's like, oh, well, currently there's a big issue happening in the real world, so we're going to see how it reflects on our characters. And now you're like, I don't give a crap about the president stepping down because Bill Clinton got a blowjob. You know?
I mean, I'm not ashamed to
Mack.
admit it. Like, I had a crush on Clarissa Explains It All, and Alex Mack,
Guilty.
Larissa Olenek.
Oh, Alex
I had that
greatest.
crush strong, man. I was like,
I
me and
know,
Larissa
it's
Olenek.
completely
We're
on-
gonna
And I wasn't old enough.
Oh
I'm not
no,
quite
man.
as old as you guys are.
Dude, I was crushing so hard
Yeah.
on
Melissa
Larissa
Joan Hart
Olenek
is
back in the
always,
day.
will
Okay.
always have a special place in my heart for Clarissa.
Let's back on here because this is so going through the comments about what we said about the whole Joss Whedon thing.
Yep.
A bit late to school, keep me away. Oh, I just want to watch the new Flash. Skye is a scroll. Troy is saying.
Sky is
Um,
a scroll. I hope
Sky-
not.
However, refuses to make a female spin-off movie because they're making Agent Carter. How does that work? Joss Whedon's style needs to be put through a filter to get to the core of what makes him good.
Yes.
Buffy was only good for one season, then it got very, very CW.
That I agree
Oh,
with. I agree with that
I
100%.
stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after the first 3 episodes because they were just annoying teenage science kids. God, they're annoying.
I did too. I got
I'll-
out of Agents of Shield
from
after.
Buffy, Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. Andrew Garfield.
Garfield.
I think he looks more like the role.
Yep. Garfield's
Yeah.
better. Garfield's a better actor.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave? You didn't give what's yours?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I stopped watching Agents of Shield after the first couple episodes too, when I got out of it until the end of the season because it was boring.
This guy.
Oh my God, you're out of your mind.
Tobey
That's
Maguire's
not
Spider-
true. No way, Dave. Dave, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah,
I really am.
It's
I'm
true.
disappointed to hear
We now
you say
see
that.
Dave's moving through these lists here. What's it? Where is it? Kevin Conroy, Spider-Man, indeed, Sonic.
It says Josh Keating is the Kevin Conroy of Spider-Man voices. Agreed.
Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog loves angry beavers. Remember that one? And Ed,
Oh,
Ed and
yeah.
Eddie.
I don't like those shows.
yeah.
I mean, I was more of like a Rocco's Modern Life, Rugrats kind of kid, but
I was too old for those shows.
Modern life.
yeah, man.
Rugrats was awesome.
Salute Your
fine.
Shorts does not hold up, although I'd pay to see Sponge and Donkey Lip spin-off.
So your shorts.
Okay, here we go. What's your guys' opinion about Batman Arkham Knight coming out?
It's garbage. Oh, I know the game.
You cannot give Batman doesn't shoot. You can't give.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the DVD movie
Oh my
adaptation
God.
of the game.
Oh, that's coming out.
Yeah, not the video game. The video game looks
garbage.
awesome. I'm totally in.
Oh no,
Yeah.
dude! Okay, so I saw a great little like joke thing about it, and they're like, Batman's like, "Look, Alfred, look at my new riot control suppressing gun," and he's like, "Bruce, that's a Gatling gun. You're going to kill people." He's like, "No, it's riot suppressing. I will suppress the riots."
With these bullets.
You don't you remember your parents died? You can't do that. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna kill anyone. It's riot suppressing. He's like, Alfred, check out my new riot suppressing missile launcher. And like missiles pop up, and he's like, missile launcher's in the name. You're going to kill people. And he's like, no, it's to get rid of tanks. And he's like,
Does it have rubber bullets?
there's people in the tanks, Bruce.
Yeah, I
He's
really no. That game looks
Alfred's
awesome.
like a riot suppressing nuclear launch. He's like, I give up, and he walks away.
That's
Does
awesome.
it have rubber bullets at least?
Oh, I don't know, but the gameplay looks awesome. I don't like them shitting on the Batman lore like that. You can't just give him Gatling guns
Oh
and crap.
my
I don't
God,
care
here we go.
about the-
Benny's
I don't
gonna
wanna see
start
the Batmobile.
crying those great big alligator tears. They pooped on the Batman lore.
Well,
not
I
gonna-
agree because that's an integral part of his character
Yeah.
is not to use guns. So like, I don't know, like
If
if it does kill people and it's not.
bullets, is he going to find rubber bullets in caches around the city?
I
Is he going to
mean-
kill villains who have guns and conveniently pick up rubber bullets as ammo? Like, it just doesn't work.
I mean,
Here's
Batman.
the
Batman
thing,
used
though.
guns when he used a gun when he first showed up.
Yep.
When he first appeared in
Yeah, and he's
comics.
got Darkseid, but I don't see Darkseid walking around in Arkham Knight.
No, it's not gonna,
Here's the
yeah,
thing,
no,
though,
Batman
in-
doesn't use guns. That's a thing that, like, even though he had used guns before, Batman doesn't use guns. It's just a thing. It's just something that's like it's ingrained in the character.
It is, but at the same time, in Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller wrote in a tank. He was using a tank.
Yeah, with rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets that were
And-
causing explosions.
No,
and guys
yeah,
to fly
explosions. Yes. Whatever.
He's
Yeah.
shooting. Here's apparently the plot. He's shooting at AI-controlled tanks. Everything you guys are saying in there, everything you guys are saying about the excuses is all excuses to give Batman a tank with guns.
Yep. I don't
None
want
of
that,
that
by the way.
makes sense viably.
I don't even want the Batman.
Those tanks aren't being driven by humans. That's an excuse.
Yep.
Give me another Arkham City game. I don't need a freaking tank on my Batman game.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Wholeheartedly agree.
I only
The
played.
rest of the game will probably be amazing. The story will probably be amazing. If you put the tank just messes with everything so much.
Yep.
I mean, I only played Batman, Arkham Asylum,
Great.
and then Arkham
Get
City,
on my level, go
and
play
then,
them all.
and then Arkham City, and I haven't played
Arkham
any of
City
the other
is
ones.
Great.
Yeah, Arkham City.
Well,
is amazing.
Arkham Origins is the only one you're missing, and it's fairly recent.
Arkham Origins
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of sucks.
That one just came out.
It's bad when you compare it to the other games. If it came out first, it would have been great.
Oh yeah, obviously, but it's just that. But the studio that made Arkham Origins would never have made that game first because it is a clone of those. Like, it is just a sequel that is just ripping off the other two games, like it with no heart. It's just boring, and like you know what happens, and all the voice acting is like, no.
It's the only game I stopped playing after a couple hours.
I like the idea of the Joker, like when you play as the Joker, as the Red Hood and stuff. That was cool, but making Harley Quinn fall for the Joker during the sequence was kind of like a neat idea that was really flimsy if you think about it for too long. Yeah. Otherwise, the voice acting was meh. And the story was
Okay, Scarlet Witch gives me a bunch of X's, but here's a good follow-up question from Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
Let's hear it.
Scarlet Witch said, I'm so full of energy, and then she just said X's. What would you guys want in an Arkham equivalent of Spider-Man? Like a real
that.
Yeah.
I want that. I want Arkham City. I want Arkham Origin. No. Stupid Arkham everything.
I would take Arkham City, but it would be New York.
Yep.
Obviously, Peter Parker, Spider-Man as the head guy, and as cliche as it sounds, I'd want Sinister Six, but I would want the original comic book Sinister Six. Now, what I also would want is cameos here and there, like characters popping in from time to time. So,
have you guys not played the Amazing Spider-Man video game?
No, I've seen that game played.
They tried to do an
okay. You know what? Okay, you know what? That doesn't mean anything. We have a movie coming
out. Let's make something similar.
Yeah.
I watched that game played online, and that game looked so much like garbage. I legally acquired a copy of the game and played it, and it was.
And within 10 minutes, that game was garbage, and I was shitting on it.
Yeah,
but I still played the whole.
It looks awful. It's like the old N64 Superman game, like just a big disappointment.
And like I don't know about you guys, but like the Riot cops were like ridiculously glitchy for me.
The whole game was garbage. It was garbage.
Yeah, no, it was no. I want to see like a well-developed. Give me like 3 years to develop. Even like give it to Bethesda. Let them spend like 5 or 6 years developing that shit. But I want to see like a Spider-Man game that has great character development, that has a great story to it, that has villains that are more than just punch them 3 times and then 100 points pops up and you win. Like I want to see really, really, really good storytelling. If I had it my way, I wouldn't even do an Arkham Origins equivalent of Spider-Man. I would do like a Fallout 3 or Skyrim like Spider-Man game. That's what I would do, man. Like
what if
world
Rocksteady is now working on a Spider-Man game?
Here's the thing,
because they've passed off the license for Batman.
I don't know.
No, they haven't. Rocksteady's doing Arkham Knight now.
Yeah, Arkham City. No, they passed off.
They didn't pass it off. The guys.
They're doing the like whole Activision like.
No. What's going on is this: Rocksteady doesn't actually own Batman. It's the parent company does. Right, and they hired Rocksteady to make the games. But since Rocksteady was going to make Arkham Knight for next generation, that left 2 to 3 years of no Batman games.
Yep.
So the owners then hired the guys to make Batman Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
That's why Rocksteady has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. That's also why it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see Arkham Asylum, like literally Batman Arkham Asylum, where Batman goes to Arkham Asylum. It's an island off the coast of Gotham City. There are all these villains in the asylum, and the inmates are running it. It's Spider-Man. It's the Raft. Galactus has attacked New York, and all the superheroes are fighting Galactus, and when you go outside, you see all this... or not Galactus, but like something is happening over there. There's a big superhero fight.
Yeah.
And everyone's busy. But you can see the fight kind of happening every time you go outside. Mm-hmm. So you know you have to stop the riot that's happening at this prison, or it will add to the carnage that's going on outside.
So kind of like the Goblin Nation thing, where you see every other superhero here for the first time ever.
Yeah.
They're just preoccupied.
But it also explains why no one shows up to help you and why you're fighting everybody.
Goblin Nation, man.
Or why only a couple people show up to help you or check on you.
Right, maybe Cap shows up to give you supplies. Maybe Iron Man drops a box of like...
Are we developing a game now?
That's literally the game. But like the game literally is Arkham Asylum, but it's Spider-Man, and you call it the Raft, and it's that. That's the whole game. And you fight, and you can fight Purple Man and like Craven and everybody.
I mean, heck, you could even do like the Arkham City plot. The Raft is getting expanded, so we sectioned off this part of New York.
That's the secret. Why don't you start that big? No, you start small.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we right?
No. You need to milk this franchise for all it's worth. You start with a great game. You have Dan Slott write it, and you just say go for it. It's literally just the same freaking game with Batman, only it's Spider-Man. And you explain the reason why superheroes aren't there is because they're all fighting Galactus over there, and Spider-Man's like, I have to take it upon myself to fight all these guys, but I have to use stealth and other
Galactus
things.
shows up and everyone's busy, and like he just steps on the raft, breaking open the wall or something. And so
Sure, that'd be great.
Or
That would
some
be a
kind
really
of some
cool
kind of an
element.
explosion or something like that. But that sounds like the new Avengers storyline.
Yeah,
The
no,
breakout.
that is like that's
Yeah.
it. That is the new Avengers, and like so it's so you also get comic book fans involved because they're like, ooh, that's new Avengers, and you're like, yeah, only the Avengers aren't there. It's just Spider-Man.
The new
All right.
Spider-Man.
So the next question, because I think Sal has now planned our entire game out. Just hire us to do it, guys. We've got this.
Literally, I was playing Arkham Asylum for the first time when it came out, and I went, they could just do Spider-Man on the raft, and that would be fine.
Right.
So I had this idea
the
for
next
years.
question is actually from, he asked it a couple times, Troy and Judy. He wanted to know what we thought about the Deadpool trailer. That we actually discussed on last week's weekly
Yep.
poll. But I think overall we all agreed we liked it. We'd love to see it. We just don't know if it's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It looked cool. It looked really
Looks great.
Deadpool-y.
I'd be in.
So,
That's
yeah.
it.
Right. Okay. And they want to know what our favorite Spidey costume is.
Oh, black and white. Definitely.
You
Yeah.
like the black costume?
Yeah.
Is that because you're just a hip swinging Luke Cage kind of guy?
No, I mean I'm talking about like old school, like, you know, symbiote pre-Venom Spider-Man costume is what I like.
I'm trying to think of which one I ran around in. I want to say it was Iron Spider. I liked Iron Spider when I was playing Amazing Spider-Man.
Iron Spider was really cool.
Because he gets the arms that I've never understood why he just doesn't use anymore. Yeah, let's get some robotic arms of that crap. You know what?
Because
highly useful.
Iron Man betrayed him and like put all these sensors in his costume to study his powers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man
And he
knew
doesn't
that,
want
and
to
he
trust
freaking
Iron Man to
rewired it.
create him another costume.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But Spider-Man's used it again because he has rewired it, and then Superior Spider-Man used a variation of it, and it just seems like this is highly useful and apparently in your closet.
I mean, there's something to be said about the old Spider-Man, like the original Spider-Man costume,
blue.
red, white, and blue. But I think that the Venom Spider-Man costume, I think is probably one of the cooler costumes that he had. I mean, even at the end of Civil War, like he came
Hold
back
on.
with that costume. So
Yeah.
Hold that thought. I'm just going to read this one comment from this commenter. Dumb bitches says, hell yeah. All right, move on.
Hell yeah. With the Spider-Man costumes, it's hard. Like when in the 80s and 90s, I loved the black costume.
yeah,
I loved seeing it in art. Like I loved the old Web of Spider-Man #1 image, but it got old, and the costume has kind of changed over the years. Like they've really changed the design, and it's like I don't really like what people think it looks like now. I don't know. It's funny. Like people go with more like the Ron Garney version of it, where it's like this weird spider, and I'm not a fan. But as far as Spider-Man costumes go, I think my favorite classic, it goes classic 2099,
Oh, that is a good one.
and then it's a toss up between black and Iron Spider. I hated the Iron Spider costume when it first came out. I was like, this is cheap and stupid, but
The only thing I don't like about Iron Spider, I love the functionality. I love the fact that it's apparently in his closet and he can pull it out when he actually needs it.
right?
I love everything about it. I don't like the original color design because they've kind of toned it down a little. The original color design was totally Tony Stark going, look at the armor! It's yellow!
Yeah.
It's red and yellow. Yep, it's red and gold.
Tony
Like,
Stark's color scheme drives me crazy.
yeah.
The red and yellow, like ketchup and mustard. I
Yep.
mean, I do give my friend a hard time because he really hates that color scheme. Like he like is OCD about not having
All right.
ketchup and mustard. But
well,
I
even like
have
the
to
black
say,
and orange.
like
is
I
still,
really
Well,
think it's a
keep telling
design
me, I just want to say
nightmare.
one thing now because I'm looking at all the timestamps and everything else, and we're hitting our end. So,
Oh, yeah.
while you're discussing this, and this gives them the lag time, okay, about your orange and mustard and your friend to the OCD. Yeah, I was listening. Last question. Everyone, ask your last question for us,
Yes.
and I will pick out the best one. And when we're done discussing the Iron Spider situation, I'll find it and I'll read it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're at an hour 40, even with the opening thing and all the flubs and all that
Yeah.
crap. So
Yeah.
I don't know where we're.
The image of the
I
Iron
don't know where we
Spider-Man
are with the
costume-
actual recording, so I'm playing it safe.
The image of the thing that convinced me it was an awesome looking costume was the Iron Spider-Man Civil War image where he's here. I'll put it in the chat. Oh, I can't.
So we started in an hour, or we're
2 hours
at an
ago.
hour and 15 right now, or an hour and 10 minutes right now.
Oh, are we?
For the regular
Right, 'cause we
podcast,
talked
we
for an
started the
hour.
podcast at around 40 minutes
Yeah.
on the counter.
Oh.
So we got a little while.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're still chatting, and for all we know, this last question is going to stretch out forever. So.
True.
Yeah.
But it's the Spider-Man over the Captain America shield. I was like, this is awesome. So
Hold on. Run it by me again now.
Hmm?
What are you talking about now?
Oh, the reason, like, I always thought that the Spider-Man Iron Man costume was kind of lame, but then I saw that one promo image from Civil War, which I posted to you guys. I can't just post in the chat, but
I can.
okay, there you go.
Wait, no, I don't think I can. I think Rob has to actually.
Oh,
Yeah. But it's
is it
fine.
in the chat on Skype?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. You have to do it, Rob.
All right.
I'm also looking at the timestamp over here on my local time, and I got to get running soon. So, Not my fault. Rob had 40 minutes of technical difficulties.
All right. Let's post this in the chat.
But anyway, so I love that image, and I was like,
Oh,
okay.
I can't post it in there. Really?
Oh. Well, it's fine. It's the image of Spider-Man like this, and he's got the Captain America shield webbed to the ground. It was cool. I was like, this is cool.
Oh yeah, that's right after their fight. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like
so
that
many
image.
good questions coming through here.
So yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. I'll start at the top for some of these really good ones. All right.
Yeah.
So first off, who has the best beard, Sal or Dave?
Oh, me.
Oh, well, me.
Me. I mean,
I love how you both double took on that. Wait, what? That's the best question.
best beard. All right, I'll take it. Mine's
Best
been. I
beard?
guarantee you, I've had mine longer.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe.
2003.
Yeah, you've had yours longer.
Mine's not really a beard; it's just stubble.
Yeah,
It's,
which
it's
is
just I got too lazy to shave it off.
Mine can grow in full really fast, though.
That's cool.
Like, I can, like, grow a mountain man beard in, like, 3 weeks.
Nice. I cannot. I can
I
grow a
hate this
beard,
chat.
but I can't
It's
grow a
like-
mountain man beard.
Okay. All right. So Mountain Man beard. Okay, so we're discussing who can grow it better now. That's
Beards.
all right. Next question. What is your guys' opinion on Sony trying to make a Venom and Carnage movie? Go shotgun style. Go.
Oh, I'm
No.
gonna be disappointed. This is gonna be a total flop. They're gonna tone down Carnage, which shouldn't be done. If you're gonna put Carnage in a film, it's got to be rated R.
Yep.
Like Cletus Cassidy is totally insane. He kills people arbitrarily for no reason at all, and does it in really gruesome ways. When he first showed up during Maximum Carnage, he was killing people and writing his initials on the wall in blood. So you can't tone his character down. Venom would not be remotely interesting if they decided to go the same route that Sam Raimi did when they made Venom and their whole thing. They'd have to reboot Venom, give him his own movie so people understand what the hell's going on with this character, because he's more than a guy that attacks Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
you'd have to
He's also
follow up with a
scrawny.
Carnage movie. So
Yeah.
Now, what I think is the consensus with us is Sony just needs to give the rights to Marvel.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah,
man.
that's the
Every
answer
comic
pretty
book
much.
fan.
If anybody asks what are your opinions about Sony doing XYZ, my answer is it sucks until you tell me what do you think about Sony giving the rights to Marvel back,
yeah,
like
it's
giving
well,
the rights
that's
to Spider-Man back. Then I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
But
I think
until that
Fox
time,
does
my
all
answer is
right with
bullshit.
X-Men as
Shotgun question
Blade.
number. Next shotgun question. I'm cutting so we can keep it moving. Keep moving.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Scott Lang a better choice for Ant-Man than I guess Ant-Man?
yes. He's a more entertaining character. And actually, I think he was referenced in Captain America the Winter Soldier. I was watching that last night, and there was that scene where what's-his-name was talking about people they were keeping an eye on.
Yeah,
and he
Sitwell
mentioned,
was talking.
he said Stephen Strange, and then he said a valedictorian in high school.
Oh.
So I think they were talking about Scott
Ah.
Lang. Yeah.
Mm.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your opinion about the Wasp not being Henry Pym's daughter?
hold on, what now?
What?
Is this supposed to be his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
I
Hank
think
Pym's wife.
that's.
Yeah.
I think Tevye is a little messed up. Right? So how do you feel about her not being his wife?
Yeah, as
I
I
mean,
understand it, she's supposed to be his daughter, I think.
Yeah, I think they.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna make her the daughter instead of the wife now. Yeah, because they're gonna make Henry Pym really old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that what they're gonna do.
Incest.
I think that Janet Van Dyne's going to be the mom. Like I think that they are going to keep her as Hank Pym's wife, but they're going to have a new Wasp with a new it's going to be their daughter. I think that's the plan.
There
That
you go.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Fine by me.
This question later. He said our opinion on her not being Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah, I mean that's too bad. Janet Van Dyne was a founding member of the Avengers. She deserves her shot in the Avengers. She deserves to be on the team. It should be her. It's not. That's too bad. As long as we get a female Wasp character, and they put her on the freaking Avengers because we have one woman, and you've created 3 new Avenger characters, and so we have 2 women, and one of them's the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Lame.
No, not lame. Scarlet Witch is
Yeah,
amazing.
lame. Horrible. The Scarlet Witch is horrible. By the way, the Scarlet Witch commented that she could grow a beard, but it would look really weird with the costume.
Oh, I don't care. I want to see that done.
Scarlet Witch is a strong female.
No,
She's
she's
just
an
not a
insane
superpowered
female
female.
character, is what she is.
Yeah,
She's
I
crazy.
don't. Yeah, I don't care about her story or her struggle, and she's too complicated to keep in the or to use right now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because you don't have that added awesome of Magneto maybe being in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, if you're if
Okay,
you're gonna
what does
put a
Scarlet
female in
Witch
the
have to do with Magneto?
She's his daughter,
she's
man.
his daughter.
Really?
Yeah,
I've got a
You
video.
just
I've got a
lost,
video
like,
with like
20.
90,000 views explaining the Scarlet
Yeah,
Witch.
that's like his biggest video.
My God,
Good job.
man.
and
Yeah.
Rob,
Wait,
oh.
you didn't watch my show.
Hold on. Hold on.
And
No, wait. Hold on.
no,
Hold on.
no, no, no,
Dave
no.
is
I just
from
had a
your
huge-
channel, Rob. Dave is
just had-
from your channel. Me and Sal have our own channels. Dave watches your videos, and that's how he got on this podcast.
I'm disappointed, Dave.
I totally had a brain fart. I was
Well,
thinking
it's
Black
all-
Widow.
It's all ironic, Dave. Like, you started out as a part of my
Oh.
channel on this podcast, and you're going to leave this podcast as part of my channel. So, you know.
Leave this podcast.
Me and Sal have excuses. We work on our own channels
My
all
God,
day.
man.
Dave, you don't even make videos. You're still a Rob viewer, so.
Yeah, no, I've actually thought about doing a video on Black Widow, but no, Biddy's 100% right here. You've
Yeah,
got,
you're a viewer.
well, no. But I mean, you've got Black Widow, who is a great character, but it's like one chick.
Yeah,
You know?
and no
Okay,
powers.
yeah.
No powers.
I'm off of blaming the drugs for my mistakes last week, so I have to blame the withdrawal for the drugs this week.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Dave, that's the equivalent of me saying I don't know what's on Comic Storian. That's just.
I don't know what's on
Don't
comics.
watch Comic Stories.
You know,
Yeah.
hey Sal, what's going on with the Lantern Core colors? And Sal's like, it's on your channel, Benny.
Yeah. What do you mean? I just saw you post that.
Oh, now everyone's screaming. How do you not know Magneto's
Man.
daughter? Scarlet
All you
Witch.
can do
Oh
is
yeah,
ignore that.
oh yeah.
sorry,
They'll be like, "Oh, Dave."
oh, Dave.
Okay, Rob, you should work for Marvel and upload all of your explained videos to the Marvel Network and watch all Marvel tunes, movies, and news from Marvel. Also, Comic-Con for $9.99 a month. Just like they want you to make you a Netflix.
I'm never gonna charge money to see my stuff. That's crazy. I don't
Man,
understand
yeah. Like I don't even know if I've ever seen somebody use the YouTube like
Oh, yeah.
subscription
that.
fee.
Like, what kind of an asshole would do that? Like, get on and be
I've
like, if
seen
you want to
it.
watch my videos, you need to pay me. I'm like, what an
There was
ass.
like one
On a
second
side
where
note,
I
is
was
that-
like,
is everyone aware that
"Mwah,"
YouTube
and then I was like,
subscription service?
wait, nobody's gonna even subscribe then.
No, I didn't
like-
pay money. No way.
You know that there's a subscription service on YouTube that no one uses, right?
Yeah.
Do I know?
You can put your stuff behind a paywall so that people have to pay you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and
you
nobody
can
uses that
actually have people pay a certain monthly fee to watch
anybody-
exclusive content.
We should all start a weekly pull Patron. I got that. I'll explain that later.
Start charging people like that. Wouldn't that be
I'm-
some shit? Like all my subscribers start showing up to my videos, like upload Howard the Duck today, and it's like $5 to see this video.
Wow.
$5 a month.
$2 from it. It was me and Sal because we were just curious.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's crazy. I mean,
I have been thinking about starting one, by the way. I'm not.
A Patron?
Yeah.
Oh, for the record, the comment about Patron, and I'm actually thinking about starting one myself because I've seen a lot of people doing it recently for
Yeah.
YouTube. But the idea is that people can pay so that you know it can help supplement our income so we can make more videos.
That's the thing. It's just.
That's the whole idea with Patron.
man, I'm never
And-
gonna
but
charge
what-
money for
what
the
it's-
videos I make.
Well, what it is it's not you're charging for the videos. It's a donate and you guys can help me do this. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's
the
more like-
videos go live.
In our case, it would be you'd be paying for exclusive content. Like you would be,
Extra
you'd get the videos for free, but you'd also get like access to like private conversations or
videos
outtakes or
early,
weekly
or-
updates or behind the scenes footage. Like you just get other stuff.
Man, I work, and then I come home and I make video. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no behind the scenes. There's just
Behind that
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Patron would be
there's
people
just a video of Rob in his
so you don't go
underwear.
to work. So you
That's what behind the
Rob in
scenes
his
would be.
underwear in the corner on his computer.
Behind the scenes is
Yeah.
Rob waking up, making breakfast, and leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be behind the scenes. Like it would just be a webcam broadcast 24 hours a day.
Exclusive
and, like,
behind the scenes footage of Rob.
yeah, I mean,
Rob
if you want to
buys
watch me
comics.
sleep, I guess that's cool.
Oh wait, no, Rob, you don't buy comics.
I mean, just like sleep and fart in the bed. I mean, if that's what you want to see me do, then yes, I can do that. But it's
So
nothing
I'm
too
saying
special.
this with Troy wants your Howard the Duck video.
That'll be up today.
They're asking what Patron is. It's not a pay to watch the content. It's a support your creators. They'll give you extra stuff. That's
And
all
we'll
it is.
never do that.
Patron or patron?
Patron. I always thought it was Patron, but
Sipping Patron.
exactly. I've always called it that because I want Patron. Last question. How do you think of the transition of Falcon as the new Captain America? And then I'm going to follow that up with the next line. Dave is so sexy right now.
Dave, I was thinking that Dave looks fabulous.
Yeah,
right
first
now.
question, or second question first. Yes, he does. As for, I think anything's possible. I
Ladies.
think if Evans says no, if Evans actually makes good on his desire to leave movies for a number of years, they could either hire another blonde actor to play him, or they could transition to Falcon and stave it off for a little while longer. Sure, I'd be fine with that. I mean, like, I haven't seen it actually in execution yet, so I think they'd sooner do the Bucky transition than the Falcon transition.
I mean, it's predictable. I mean, I assume they're talking about the comic book.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, well,
Oh.
it's happening in the comics first.
Yeah, yeah.
but
Happening
They're
in the comics
thinking-
right now.
That it's because
Don't lose
Evans
Captain
wants
America.
to leave that they're gonna try to convince people that it's supposed to happen like it happened in the comics.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's predictable. I mean everybody knew that Falcon was going to take over the role of Captain America at some point in time. Bucky Barnes can't do it forever because he's got a shady past. But you've got Sam Wilson, who's like this upstanding guy. He's like Captain America, except he didn't have super
Hi,
soldier
Scarlet
formula.
Witch.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Saying goodbye to Scarlet Witch.
oh, but yeah, I mean it's I knew it was coming. I mean, most anybody who was paying attention knew that at some point along the line, Falcon was going to take over the role of Captain America. He's been a sidekick with him forever.
Yep.
And it just makes perfect sense that if Captain America ever stepped down, that Falcon would be the one to take over the role. And then with the movie coming out now, after seeing Captain America: The Winter Soldier, like Falcon's
I'm in.
really going to take over the role. And
He'd be cool.
yeah, I'd be down with that. So
Yeah. He's cool. I wanted to see him on the Avengers. I was really sad that he's the only one who's not going to be in the Avengers
yeah,
movie.
that's disappointing to me. Like
Yeah.
he was
I
a pretty good
think
Falcon's not going to be in the new Avengers movie?
Falcon will not be, but War Machine will be, but not as War Machine.
He's just going to be the token black guy for the movie. That's
There
it.
is a scene. I mean, like I read
Pretty
a
much.
scene from Avengers 2 if you want to talk about it. Like we could ruin that if you want.
No. Let's keep it spoiler free right now.
Yeah,
we
we'll
are
talk
running a
about
little
that
late
when
on
the
time.
podcast is over.
I want to ask one thing since everyone's kind of half questioning about the Patron thing.
Okay.
And I wanted to get your guys' opinion. What I was thinking about doing was using it so that people who did donate towards the channel, they got to pick the direction of the content.
I like that.
That-
Can
That's
you
pretty
do
much what I was
that
thinking.
though?
Yeah.
Can you have like a donation system instead of?
I'll show you the link to it after this, but it's pretty much just
Okay.
a donation system.
All right.
Yeah.
People donate and they get like special perks in your channel. So they could say, like Rob, they could say, no, you will do Howard the Duck. I don't care if you're getting bored by it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean Howard the Duck's already finished. I just need to upload that today. But no, I'm not going to ask for donations. I mean, my channel's cranking along fine as it is. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just saying that because people are asking what it was. It's a donation-based service.
Yep.
That's all it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just made a joke and now it's turned into what is that?
Yeah.
So-
It's like an ongoing Kickstarter.
yeah, it is. Yeah. So anyway, Rob, you want to close us out here?
yeah. All right. So Howard the Duck is going to be uploaded sometime in the next couple hours or so, alongside this podcast. Which those of you that haven't seen it will be able to see it then, including all the flubs and all the screw ups.
You can put all of that in there?
Well, I mean, I can't edit it out. Like it's live streaming and YouTube automatically saves it. So
You can trim that.
You
but
can
also
edit it
nonsense.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use the
You,
YouTube.
you can pick a new start point. That's why I keep giving you intros.
Huh. Good stuff.
There was a reason why I did that, Rob.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll have to go through and make sure I do that. All right. After Howard the Duck, I'm debating on what I want to do. I'm thinking that maybe I'll do like some Chris Claremont stuff, but I also want to like get current with Marvel stories because like everything that I've been doing on my channel has been like 1960s, 70s, and 80s. and like I want to get like 90s, 2000s, and current, and like Marvel events and stuff like that. So that's why I asked you about Age of Ultron, Benny, because I thought about doing like a more in-depth version of Age of Ultron and just telling people go check out Benny's if you want a really fast explanation, like if you want the finer point or the like major points on it.
I think honestly between our two channels, because originally, guys, what you guys don't know is Rob and I decided that we wouldn't cross each other's turf, like as they came out. Like I wouldn't do Age of Ultron and then Rob would do it a week later.
Right.
But it seems like the audience in general likes they calling mine the Cliff Notes version with the dramatic reading, and Rob's is actually explaining. So
Yeah.
People were saying to me when I first started making videos, like, do a full history of Marvel from the year 2000 until now, and I'm like, why would I do that? Like,
Marvel sold
How
all
could I
the
do
rights
that?
like an idiot in 2001.
Yeah, I mean, God, Marvel made such a
Anyway,
bad
okay.
decision, but
So-
yeah. So I was thinking about doing that, or I'm not really sure. I mean, like Troy and Judy Talenko. That's a heck of a name. Wanted me to do Original Sin, so I might jump into Original Sin. I'm not really sure, but I want to get.
I'm waiting for it to end myself, but I'm not doing any tie-ins or stuff. I'm doing the core plot and the whole Nick Fury 1001 different things. So,
Oh my God, Nick Fury's so great in Original
but
Sin.
I do all current stories anyway. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might just make a
I
video
asked
and just
about-
ask people what they want to see. So
the reason I asked about Max earlier is there is a Nick Fury maxed out
Yes.
now,
I think that's the only good one.
which
isn't
looks
it?
really good.
I think
Yeah.
Ennis wrote it, didn't he?
yeah,
That's cool.
Ennis
And
does
it's
most
really
of the
violent.
Max universe.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
of course.
Sal, what's going on over at TV Lit House? Do you have anything on?
Today we launched a new episode of Back Issues where we talk about Flashpoint.
And you upset me because you tore it apart and I loved it.
We did. I mean, like, you know what? I really tried. You can see me trying to be like, no, and then it's cool. And Benedict like, no, it's not. That's not cool. And I'm like,
For the record, I will say this about your show that you just launched today.
yes.
The funniest thing I found about it was Ethan not letting go of the costume thing.
Yeah.
How does it fit in the ring, Sal?
How does it fit in the ring? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you that. I have no idea how it fits in the ring.
I'm like, oh, this is great.
But yeah, we also do. If you ever wanted to see us act, we play Batman. So that's cool. And then
The ending was the best.
and then tomorrow we'll have a Tangents episode that comes out. That's like 2 minutes. That's like a lost conversation from that episode of Flashpoint. So you can check it all out at TV Little House on YouTube.
good enough.
And over mine, I'm launching the Green Lantern entities that everyone's been asking for the last like month.
Yes.
I started Guardians of the Galaxy month, and everyone's like, "What about Green Lantern entities?"
I saw that. I was
but
looking through that.
I'm just gonna say it real quick. Green Lantern entities. There really isn't much to say. This one's a snake. This one's a bull. That's pretty much it.
I
So
mean-
I got that going up today. I'm probably gonna do the Know Your Universe about Deadpool and Angela,
Awesome.
and I'm prepping up the storyline for Batman: Return of the Bruce Wayne. The whole time travel.
Yeah.
He's a caveman. He's a pirate. He's a
He's a caveman. He's a Viking. Yeah.
I mean, dude, like Benny, I know what you like. When I did Howard the Duck Man, I know exactly where you're coming from. Like the video is like 23, 24 minutes, but the most interesting part of the video is the controversy, like Howard the Duck and Disney.
I didn't even have controversy. Like, okay, real quick about my struggles with the entities. So I know of the entities; they're always mentioned, but I always assumed that there was more to them than what was mentioned in the War of the Green Lanterns and everything. So I sat here for days looking for more references. No, Jeff Johns introduced them in the Blackest Night, which is where I saw them.
Yep.
And the only other reference has been in the War of the Green Lanterns, which is where I read them, and there is nothing else.
That's it. That's it.
So I'm like, this one's a snake. This one's a dynamic bull. This one is.
I mean, yeah, it's like Howard. I did Howard the Duck because
the cores themselves, I thought the core. When I went through the cores, there was a whole bunch of back history on spin-offs that I didn't know about, and I had to go look up. That doesn't exist for this.
yeah, no,
Howard the.
I did Howard the Duck because people wanted to see Howard the Duck after, like with everything that's gone on in Guardians of the Galaxy. Howard the Duck is like dumb. Like he is not interesting at all.
Oh, yeah,
And
no,
I didn't even like. I was like, man, I'm not really even sure I want to do this, but I'll try to make it interesting. Okay. Man Thing, Giant Size Man Thing, issues number 4 and 5. Issue number 4 is Howard the Duck returning to the Earth 616 universe. He fights a giant frog. Issue number 5, he fights a vampiric bovine, a vampire cow. Like that's Howard the Duck.
That's what he does.
That's what he does. He fights.
He's almost like a cartoonish Hellboy.
Yeah, I mean he was like Deadpool before there was Deadpool, but he's not as violent as Deadpool.
That's exactly right.
So it's like he's a silly character, and like the controversy, like Steve Gerber suing Marvel and Disney, like we're gonna sue you if you don't change Howard the Duck. Like that was more interesting than like Howard the
The
Duck's
character.
publication history. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, and like I was saying in our chat before, like his stories are pretty short too.
hmm
Like some of them are literally like Sunday morning like comic strips,
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
funny
like
and that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna blow Rob's spot here. This was hilarious because we have a little comic book YouTuber chat. We bounce ideas off each other, and Rob started Howard of the Duck, and it was like 4 days later that Rob sends the message out. Oh my God, Howard the Duck is stupid. Why did I do this? This was the worst idea I ever had.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I,
saw
was like,
that.
this is a really bad idea. Like I don't care about this character at all. Like Howard the
No.
Duck is dumb. Like, I mean, there's a reason why the film sucked in 1986, guys.
I'm just reading this like, and this is why I don't do obscurities.
I mean, there's a reason why it's considered to be one of the worst movies ever to be created in the history of cinema because it's based off a concept that's not that interesting. So,
Yeah.
hopefully the video will be interesting, but you know, just don't give me shit if it sucks because Howard the Duck sucks.
Yeah, he's kind of just
So-
he's kind of just a character to
Just-
laugh at. I don't think anybody expects anything else.
That's exactly it, man. Like he rides around with She-Hulk for a while. He's part of Generation X with like Franklin Richards and a
Doesn't he
couple
turn
other
into
people.
like a rip off of Witchblade and grow boobs?
No, but he turns into a mouse at one point. Yeah, it's like
Wow,
Howard the
what
Mouse.
issue is that, and where can I get it?
No, I'm
It's,
serious.
uh,
I don't care.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I need to be more sarcastic.
You really didn't cover this because I've seen this and hold on. Oh no, wait, it's not Howard the Duck. It's somebody else that does that. There's
Okay.
another one of those stupid cartoon characters that turns into like a girl with like a Witchblade ripoff and grows massive boobs
Oh.
and complains about back pain. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I'll show you after this. But
Okay.
all right, so I guess that's it. We're gonna close it up for the day.
Sure,
Uh,
I'm down.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna wrap
I'm
it up.
hoping to catch up on Civil War
Awesome,
like-
man.
this week.
I'm gonna catch up on Batman Eternal
Well,
and tell you.
technically, it's
Yeah.
the end of the week, so like next week. But
Mhm.
Right.
but
All
I'm
right, well-
hoping to at least upload the rest of those videos in the next few weeks, and then move on to some other stuff like House of M or Annihilation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I mean, I think that pretty much wraps it up. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we'll catch you guys later.
Totally.
Salutations, Excelsior!
Peace.
I've never
Yeah.
said.